16th week of the USFL. From the Western Conference, the Houston Gamblers and the Denver Gold. It's a sunny, hot day in Rocky Mountain country. Got up into the high 90s yesterday, and they're talking about the same kind of a thing again today for the matchup in the Western Conference between the Houston Gamblers and the Denver Gold. And it's a very big ball game in the Western Conference structure. The USFL, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. By Speed Stick Deodorant. The wide stick gives you man-sized protection against perspiration odor. Let the wide stick give you the edge. Speed Stick Deodorant by Menon. By Valvoline, because your car is special. And by Sears, where you'll find great values, great service, and a great selection. You'll find the things that make life worthwhile, because there's more for your life at Sears. A look at the Western Conference standings will help define the significance of this ball game today. The Oakland Invaders lost last night in Arizona 28-21, which leaves the Western title and the home field advantage open still. Denver with a win today would be just a half game back of Oakland, with Portland and Jacksonville remaining both road games. Houston, on the other hand, needs the win today to stay in the playoff hunt. The Gamblers have home games remaining with San Antonio and Oakland. This is a matchup of the run-and-shoot offensive teams, Houston leading the USFL in offense, while the Denver Gold ranks third in offense. Our analyst for our USFL telecast, Lynn Swan, a former great wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Swanee, I know you're feeling, despite the obvious offense story, is that defense will determine this one today.
Well, that's true. They both are run-and-shoot offenses, and of course, Jim Kelly won't be playing because of the knee injury, but Todd Dillon was excellent last week in a two-point loss to Birmingham and showed that he could play the game. But I think it's on defense where this game will be made. The defense have to make the offensive team make mistakes, force turnovers, and come up with the big plays. If they allow the offense to move up and down the field, we're going to see a ball game that could be 35-42 before there's a winner determined. So the strongest defensive team today's ball game, turning over the big plays, should come out on top.
Which team do you think profits the most from the early lead?
Well, both teams could profit from the early lead. Obviously, Denver would profit the most because of the running attack of Bill Johnson. If they get the lead quickly, he can run the ball, keep it on the ground, march it down the field. He's the third leading rusher in the entire USFL, number one in the Western Conference. But if Houston goes up early, then it forces the offense of the Denver Gold to keep the ball in the air, which means the defense won't have to think about Bill Johnson as much.
Well, both teams have given up a lot of points in the fourth quarter, but Denver in particular, they've yielded 102 points in the fourth quarter, which can mean one of several things. Means the defense on the field so long it got tired, or else they're put in the posture of having to go for the big play. And when you start having to go big play in the last 10 minutes of a ball game, then you've got a problem, don't you?
It could be a problem with the concentration of the young ball club. The average years of experience for the Denver Gold is 2 years. A lot of young players. So when you get tired in the fourth period of play, you're going to make a lot of mistakes if you don't concentrate. Today's Heat, the youth could be a factor to their benefit.
Attitude is so important at this time of the season after going into the 16th game. Everybody's nicked and bruised some. So I think attitude has to prevail over the aches and pains in the body. And to that point now, let's turn to Tim Brand as he visits with Mouse Davis, the coach of the Denver Gold.
Keith, I think you're absolutely right about the injuries, the aches and pains. You have to get above that today, and when attitude is so important. And Mouse, quite frankly, there have been a lot of ugly things said back and forth between Denver and Houston this week. Tell me about this game, what it means.
Well, I tell you, it's a little more special for me because I know the players on both sides, and we have such an excellent relationship, and it's very, very positive. It's unfortunate that Jerry has been an ongoing negative factor, but that's what he's got to do, I guess. But really, as far as today, it's been exciting, and all the kids are jacked up and excited on both sides of the ball, and we would look for an excellent football game in spite of the fact you didn't wear shorts.
It's hot enough, and the rain looks like it's going to come in, Keith.
No.
Let me ask you this, too, because you are the architect of the run and shoot. You have coached at Houston and now here at Denver. You know that Jim Kelly is out, and now Todd steps in. And we talked about him not being able to throw maybe as deep and over top as well. Now, because of that, you cheat up on the receivers now and maybe play a little bit tighter?
Not too much more because they have excellent speed. And if you get too involved with playing too tight, one of those little guys can run by you fairly rapidly. So Okay, good. We're going to kick off going. We're ready to fly, Timmy. We're excited about it.
All right, Mouse. Back up to you, Keith.
They play on real grass here. The Denver Zephyrs baseball team, of course, summertime occupant of the Mile High Stadium, so there's a goodly portion of it as we look at it on the left side. That'll be just bare dirt because of the baseball infield, as you can see there. And sometimes that comes into play. As a matter of fact, I thought that came into play in Houston's 2-point loss to Birmingham, where Todd Dillon never got set and threw a key interception in the ball game because he slipped.
Yeah, when you're trying to get your footing on the grass, and then suddenly you find yourself standing on that dirt, it's a discomforting feeling at times, Keith. And when you plant that foot, it could slip. Depends on how soft the dirt is and just what part of the infield you're standing on.
The weather forecast, there's Jim Kelly, who's walking now without the crutches. He has strained ligaments, partial tear in his right leg, but wearing a heavy brace and still experiencing some pain. But he's a big, tough Irishman and says he's going to fight his way through and be available for the playoffs. The deep people receiving for Houston will be Clarence Verdun, who's playing with a strained shoulder today, and Vince Corville, along with Sean Potts. Their numbers are 89, 83, and 86, respectively, and Verdun is the man that they like to have the ball. And the reason they're standing in that particular posture now, as Jim Asmus tees the ball up, is they don't want to show Asmus where Verdun's going to be. He's going to run around back there. They're going to trade places, and now he's making his commitment. He's going toward the left corner. Now he goes back into the middle of the field as Asmus kicks it over there, and the ball is kicked so deep in the end zone. Kerrville making the reception. There won't be a return anyway. So all of that finagling around between the deep people for Houston is nullified anyway by Asmus' long kick. Todd Dillon out of Cal State Long Beach comes out, 6-footer, 195 pounds. Sam Harrell and Richard Johnson. Sam is the running back. Johnson a split back. The other wide people are Gerald McNeil and Scott McGee, along with Ricky Sanders. And they come out of that offensive formation like a covey of quail. The big guys up front, Taylor, Boucher, Kidd, Rosado, and Robeson. First down from the 20 for the Houston Gamblers in white. We are in Denver, Colorado. And Dillon gives the ball off to Sam Harrell, and Sam gets 5, close to 6 yards before he's brought down by Pat Ogren. The defense for the Denver goal, Bruce Thornton, Doug Nicholas, Pat Ogren, and Calvin Turner up front in the 4-3 with Stan Blinka, John Nevins, Mike McKibben, the linebackers, Lance Shields, Darrell Hemphill, Steve Trimble, and Calvin Lovell, the defensive secondary. And you will see Craig Walls in the ball game a lot today. He is very fleet of foot and in effect can become a 5th defensive back. Todd Fowler checks in now in the backfield for the Denver goal. Second down and 4. Dillon, a little quick pop to Richard Johnson, who was a running back at the University of Colorado, just down the road from Denver at Boulder, and he goes for the first down across the 35.
With both of these offensive teams playing the run and shoot offense, the defensive teams should be very well prepared for what they're seeing out there. It's almost like practicing against yourself or playing this game against yourself, because the defense will see this run and shoot offense every day at practice, something that no other team can ever say when they have to get their preparation done for the Houston Gamblers or the Denver Gold.
And that play you saw is one of the bread and butter plays of the run and shoot offense. A little quick slant, and whistle stop them now before they get the snap away. The ball's resting just over the 35. Mike Talaferro out of Texas Christian and Billy Kidd engaged in head bumping, and it's called against Mike. Talaferro, if you remember, was the man who made the real big play in their win of 28-24 against New Jersey, the last time we saw the Denver Gold. Jack Pardee, the head man of the Houston Gamblers, had a brilliant career in the National Football League, both as a player and as a coach. Now is back home in his native Texas. Ball moves up to the 40, where it is first down and 5 for Houston. 5 DBs out there if you consider Walls, and back goes Todd Dillon to throw it. Gets some pressure. And they got a hold of him, and they dropped him back on the 37-yard line, and there was good defensive pressure by Pat Ogren and Doug Nicholas. Nicholas is out of Portland State. Ogren came from Wyoming and had 2 years with the Washington Redskins.
That's the kind of defensive play that is going to be needed if the offensive units expect, in this particular series of the Denver Gold, expect to have any kind of field position. There's Darrell Davis, the head coach of the Houston Gamblers.
Denver coming in with a record of 10-5. Houston with a record of 9-6. That was the 45th sack of a Houston quarterback this season. So perhaps that explains partly why Jim Kelly's on the sideline. Dillon fumbles the snap, doesn't get away with it cleanly. Black shirts are all over it. Looks like they've got the ball. The Houston center, Billy Kidd, was in there scuffling with him, and he may be in the bottom and may still have possession, and that's the case. So it's Rosado. Danny Rosado was able to sense the ball was loose and saw it and jumped on it.
Right there, we almost saw the first mistake and first turnover of the ball game, which would have given the Denver Gold excellent field position had they recovered it. Todd Dillon was looking around, watching his receivers, looking at the secondary when the ball was snapped, so his concentration wasn't on getting that ball up into his hands.
This his second start since Jim Kelly was injured 3 weeks ago on the last play before the half. Bertan goes in motion. Dillon rolls, whips it out. Pass is good to Sanders, but Sanders is caught well of the first down marker, and so that's going to bring up a kicking down. Darrell Hemphill, number 25, coming across to play Sanders. And it looks like, Swanee, that they've decided almost to play, to pick a man. Depending on his position on the field, they obviously have to play some man because they send so many receivers out in this offensive formation. Frank Corral, a late joiner of the Houston Gamblers, is out to do the punting, averaging just under 41 yards on 9 punts. Lonnie Harris and Nate Harris are deep. One from North Carolina A&T and the other from Tulsa. Corral kicking off the dirt, gets good spin on it. And the ball drifts back to Lonnie Harris. And Lonnie Harris is on the way, but there's a penalty flag way back upfield, and I think that's wiped out. I believe you got a clipping call back up at just about the point of reception. So let's not get too excited about that one. 47-yard punt. Lonnie Harris takes it all the way down the sidelines to the end zone, but there is a clip back up here at the point of reception. That takes a little air out of your balloon early.
Back, illegal block above the waist, number 22.
So Richard Johnson is dinged with the, who is it? Kerry Bird? Bird out of Kentucky is nailed on the penalty flag. Kerry Baird, Mouse Davis shaking his head on the sidelines. But it was pretty obvious to everybody because it came out in the open field. Right there it is. And it was right in front of the man wearing the striped shirt, and down came the flag. Dave Kamansky is the referee.
The coaches will always tell players, when you have a block like that, always try and get your helmet on the front of the player so that you can try and get the call. There's a young man. He's very disappointed. 87-yard return, no good.
We Americans love our cars, the way they look, the way they run, the way they make us feel free. At Valvoline, we know how special any car can be. That's why we make specialized motor oils to keep your car from breaking down. Like Valvoline Turbo 5 to VP Intense Heat and turbocharged cars. And Valvoline All Climate to combat the stress of stop-and-go driving. Valvoline, because your car is special. Because you're special to me.
Hey, Bobby, toss me the flashlight. Here, catch.
One reason why a Durabeam flashlight is so dependable is because it's so incredibly rugged. Another reason is it comes with Duracell batteries that'll work, even after lying around unused for 2 years.
I can't believe you threw that. You said toss me the flashlight.
Durabeam from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
An 87-yard touchdown return wiped out by an illegal block. And the Denver Gold, instead of having 7 points on the scoreboard, have the football first down just short of their own 8-yard line. Set the offensive alignment for you in just a moment. Bob Galliano takes the snap from center and rolls out and throws, and it is almost intercepted. Number 39, Dennis Devon, stepped in front of the intended receiver, Lonnie Turner, and almost came away with 6 points himself. So Galliano got in trouble on the very first play as he almost had one picked off. Bill Johnson lines up behind him. Leonard Harris is a split back. Wide men are Troy Johnson, Mark Lewis, and Gil Stiegel. And Stiegel, of course, set a USFL record with 16 receptions in the last ball game. Loberg, Yarno Davis, Meese, and Miller are the big guys up front. And it is 2nd down and 10 for the Denver goal, and they're lucky to have those stats right now. And in motion is Stiegel. Galliano again. A little quick pop, and again it's this time caught, and it's good. He got both feet down. Troy Johnson. I thought for a moment that that ball might be picked off by Devon, but it was lofted just enough that Johnson was able to bring it in.
Well, the reason why he can't pick it off is because Bob Galliano throws a perfect pass. The ball has a little loft to it, so as Devon comes over, he's underneath the ball, can't get up to it. And that he didn't even have 2 feet in, Keith.
And they gave it to him.
I think he just had the 1 foot and stepped out of bounds. But anyway, the ball was thrown. Hold up.
We got a red flag, I think, on this one.
I think the coach had enough time. There we have it.
So Dave Kaminsky will now confer with the review official.
Take another look. That was in the air. You have to have 2 feet in bounds. There's the catch. There's 1.
1.
2. No. He caught it with 1 foot on the ground, so they're going to call it a complete. I think they'll rule it a complete catch.
1 foot was down when he caught the ball.
It's like when you watch a thoroughbred run, you're always trying to figure out how many feet he has on the ground. Sometimes you can't tell. 3 are flying, but right here,
1,
right there, 1, 2. He wasn't in the air. It looked like he was in the air when he caught the ball.
So Jack Pardee challenges and loses a timeout for the Houston Gamblers. And the Denver goal with the football out at the 23-yard line with a 1st down. I don't blame Jack for that challenge, though. It was that close.
Oh, not at all. Jack. Kelly Johnson, number 8. Excuse me, Troy Johnson. All these Johnsons around here. I'm going to die today, Keith. Troy Johnson, number 89.
The defensive unit for the Houston Gamblers. They've added Ross Browner to the roster, the former great from Notre Dame, Van Hughes, Jose Taylor, Pete Caton. The backers are the Hawkins brothers, Andy and Mike, and Kika Diala. Secondary is Mike Mitchell, Luther Bradley, Durwood Rockamore, and Will Lewis. It's 1st down for Denver at the 23. No score in the ball game 1st quarter. Galliano stays in the air, and the ball is off the hands of number 88, Mark Lewis, 5'9", 165, out of Missouri Western.
Well, that pass really should have been caught by Lewis. I talked with the Hawkins brothers before the game, Keith, and they were really geared up to come in here and make it a physical football game. They feel that this game will turn on the play of the linebackers because the linebackers will have so many opportunities to read the short route of the receivers and to lay a very telling blow on them should they come in contact with the ball.
I thought, Swanee, the New Jersey-Denver game was the most physical game we'd seen. But we know the goal can really whack you. They show blitz on it. Hand the ball off to Bill Johnson. They don't blitz. The linebacker showed blitz and did not come. And Bill Johnson picks up a yard. Kika Diala was the man showing blitz, but he held his position and was right in the hole when Johnson came at him.
When we talk about the physicality of a football game, you have to keep in mind that the Denver Gold came into this ball game after having played a Thursday night game. Darrell Davis gave his team 3 days off to help them heal, give them a little rest. Houston, however, played the game on Monday. Had to turn around very quickly to get ready for this ball game.
Of course, prior to the Oakland game, which Denver lost, they had played New Jersey in that bruiser, so they literally were all sore and beat up going into the Oakland ball game. Galliano back to throw, goes to the sideline, has a man, pass good to Mark Lewis, and it's beyond the marker for a 1st down. Caught in front of Adrian Simpson.
Keith, that was an excellent play-action pass. I thought Bill Johnson had the football. Let's see Galliano as he goes back. He fakes his handoff, and watch everybody converge on Johnson. They all think he has the ball. Just gives Galliano a lot more time to find this receiver who just ran a simple out pattern against the man-to-man coverage. You see Lewis right here. He just breaks it off right there on the sideline, holds his position. Make sure he's in bounds.
The weather forecast includes not only high temperatures today, but thunder showers. It looks like we've got one lurking on the horizon. Let's hope it misses the stadium, because thunderstorms this time of the year around this part of the country can be pretty rough. Galliano back, little flip pass out intended for Bill Johnson, and he was overthrown, and that's Galliano's fault, and Bob knows it. He goes back shaking his head because he had 8-10 yards in the bank if he'd have thrown that ball where Billy could have caught it.
Number 24, Will Lewis, was the defensive back who was coming over to make the tackle. And you see the side, you see his physique right there. He could have jumped on the back of Bill Johnson, and Bill Johnson could have ran down the field using his body as a cape and still picked up about 20 yards.
It is 2nd down and 10. The football resting at the 37 of Denver, and no score. 10:19 to go first quarter. Lonnie Turner is wide to the left. Lewis to the top. Galliano back. Good protection. Going deep down the sideline. The pass is complete. It's going to be touchdown Denver. Leonard Harris. Dennis Devon fell down coming off of the baseball dirt, hit the grass, lost his footing, and Leonard Harris was home free, 63 yards.
Give the offensive line a great deal of credit, Keith. You'll see here, Bob Galliano gets all kinds of time to throw the football. Excellent protection. He looks right, then comes back left, and you're right, Dennis Devon will slip right there. What he did, Keith, he knew the ball was coming out there. He turned back to look at the quarterback, and when he did, saw the ball going up in the air. He tried to make a quick adjustment to go for the ball, slipped on the dirt, and then it was too late. Touchdown, and the Denver Gold strikes very quickly from deep in their own territory.
They started back near their 7-yard line. The kick is up and good by Frank Farrell. No, Jim Asmus, excuse me. Jim Asmus. Wrong team. Asmus came out of Hawaii, very strong leg and a threat from the 50-yard range. So the Denver Gold, their version of the run and shoot, gets them on top 7-0.
Old Spice deodorant is over 70% ethyl alcohol. This much. As the alcohol evaporates, so does some of your protection. Unlike Old Spice, Speed Stick deodorant has no alcohol. The wide stick gives you man-sized protection that won't evaporate. Speed Stick protection that's more effective than Old Spice even after 24 hours. We believe alcohol and deodorant don't mix. All-day protection that won't evaporate. Speed Stick, the wide stick.
Come on, America. Drive over for Firestone's computerized Master Care engine tune-up.
America's driving to Firestone.
Virtually ends engine repair guesswork. Firestone's mastermind computer. Quick, thorough, gives you a printout. Nationwide warranty. Now, Master Care tune-up, only $34.95.
Driving force is Firestone.
And new tracks on sale from $29.95. The long mileage radio America needs. The price America wants.
Firestone.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
When Elliott took over as manager, the Southport office was considered exceptional, exceptionally sloppy and unproductive. So Elliott called in Team Xerox, with office machines like Xerox memory writers for perfect letters and a full range of mid-sized copiers tailored to the needs of each department. Now, the Southport office is exceptional for something else.
The most dramatic turnaround of the year at the Southport office.
Leonard Harris, 85th catch of the season, his 8th touchdown. The Denver Gold out on top by a score of 7-0 with Verdun, Corville, and Potts, the deep people, for Houston, and Asmus kicking off. High hanger this time. There will be a return. And it's by Verdun. Looks to the sidelines and can't get there as they seal him off and bring him down at the 23-yard line.
There you see the scoring drive, 7 plays. They lost the touchdown after a punt return was called back because of an illegal block. But they go 92 yards in 1 minute and 32 seconds in 7 plays. And that's a very impressive drive, Keith.
Todd Dillon now will start with the football on the grass. But if he moves around very much to his left, he'll be running onto the dirt. Corville and Verdun, the wide people. Pressure, Dillon dumps it. Intended for Verdun. Ogren was all over him, and Dillon is down, slow to get up. Big Pat nailed him, 6'5", 265, and Todd Dillon's having trouble getting up. Jim Kelly is on the sidelines in a leg brace. The backup quarterback is Bruce Threadgill out of Mississippi State, a left-hander who has played very little. And Dillon is dragging a leg, and they will take a timeout here as Dillon tries to restore himself physically, but he apparently was twisted when he went down. And there's Jim Kelly, and there's no way in the world Kelly's coming into the ball game. Threadgill played very little, so if they have lost Dillon here, then the Houston Gamblers have got a problem. They're bracing up Threadgill right now, slipping on number 7, which is quarterback jersey number. And there have been times when he has put on a different number to go out and be part of the special teams. So Dillon does have to come off the field. And Threadgill now, thrust into the middle of this melee, had not really taken a snap. And very few snaps during the course of the week.
Well, you talk about the depth of a football team. You lose a guy who's a franchise player like Jim Kelly. In steps Todd Dillon. Todd Dillon with a strong arm and a very capable young man. Excited about coming back into play. And when he first came to the Houston Gamblers, he read defenses better than Jim Kelly. Now, you go to Threadgill, but you're dropping way off on the ability and talent of a quarterback. Now, you talk about repetitions. How many times does a quarterback take the snap at practice to get ready for a ball game? I dare to say Threadgill has not taken hardly any this week, Keith, in preparation for this ball game.
Well, Dillon showing facial grimace indicating pain in the right knee, and Threadgill is in. He was the quarterback at Mississippi State prior to John Bond.
Be careful about the snap here. He hasn't taken any snaps, and that's usually a sign of weakness when the quarterback first comes into a ball game.
His first snap is handed off to the running back, Todd Fowler, and Fowler just punches ahead for a yard or so, and that's all he's going to get out of it. So the Houston Gamblers running out of quarterbacks. If Dillon comes trotting back now, they have examined the knee, and the pain has subsided, and Dillon comes trotting right back into the ball game, where it is 3rd down and 9. 7-0, Denver leads. Watch Dillon to see about his mobility. Well, he seems to move all right. His pass is away, and the pass is caught for a first down by Scott McGee out of Eastern Illinois, 5'9" and 170, and a tough receiver. Now a moment with Tim Brandt.
Keith, I just checked with the doctors about Todd Dillon's injury. It is not a knee. In fact, it is a lower back muscle. Oh. And when he fell, he just felt a twinge, and he felt some pain down his leg. The thing they told him is keep it loose, keep it going, so it doesn't tighten up on you. He just got up off the bench and ran back in. You saw after that play that no ill effect. He's throwing quite well, but it is a lower back muscle. We'll keep an eye on it.
Those things can paralyze you almost sometimes. Right now, Dillon's picked him off the hook and put him in first down position at the 37-yard line. A little quick pop right now. Oh, my goodness. Ricky Sanders took a lick from Darrell Hemphill. And can Ricky get up? Doesn't appear so. My goodness, he took a shot, and he took it just under the arm and the rib area.
It's because people know where the receivers are going in this ball game, Keith. The secondary, they've seen this play week in and week out. Their own offense runs it. Now, he sees the ball going up in the air. He knows what the receiver is going to. He just comes in, lowers his shoulder, and Hemphill just probably knocks the wind out of him, or maybe even bruised a rib or two.
Look at the whiplash, though, when he gets hit. His head just popped. You've got 7:56 to play in the first quarter. Timeout for the injured Ricky Sanders.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few 100 pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with a third less calories than the regular beer. They know bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. Sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Oh, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Shake it on down.
Now get get a great shake on select full-size Ford pickups. New low 8.8% financing. That's right, 8.8% financing on new two-wheel drive F-150 and F-250 regular cabs. So get a great 8.8 shake now on select full-size Ford pickups through August 1st at your participating Ford dealer.
Shake, 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 shake it on down.
The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
It could be a fortunate day.
Oscar winner Sally Field, Michael Caine, and Telly Savalas in Irwin Allen's Beyond the Poseidon Adventure.
Ricky Sanders out. There is still pain, but apparently nothing broken, and all the appendages are in place.
He really took the lick. He sure did. And I think the receivers have to go out there and expect to be hit a little bit, quite a bit faster from the secondary than another game.
He did catch the ball for a 7-yard pickup, so it's 2nd down and 3. Hand off to Fowler, and Todd Fowler bangs straight ahead and picks up the 1st down on sort of a little draw play. Mark Boobin and Bruce Thornton brought him down. Another guy that's going to add something to the Denver defense as they approach the playoffs is Mark Boobin.
Mark Boobin came to them on a trade from the Arizona Outlaws, who was an outstanding defensive end there and excellent pass rusher, and he's going to help shore up a defensive line that has been plagued by injuries throughout the season here in Denver.
1st down for the Houston Gamblers. Ball is just short of midfield. Dillon rolls around, gets it off, drops it off. Penalty flag thrown downfield. Clarence Verdun tiptoes out of bounds rather than take the blow from Lance Shields. And it'll be a 1st down, but let's see about the penalty. They're going to rub it off.
It just fell out of his pocket.
Could be. Tom Myers, the umpire. Dave Kamansky, we told you, the referee. Had linesman Roger McMahon. Dave Hedema, the line judge. Bill Begin, the back judge. Grover Clemmer, the side man. And Bob Mantooth, the field judge.
Clarence catches his ball after his juggling act for a short period of time. Directs traffic downfield and wisely steps out of bounds. Does not need to take a lick if it's not necessary.
1st down, Houston. The ball at the 35 of Denver. Houston's first real offensive movement of the ball game. They give it away to Todd Fowler, and Fowler is lassoed by number 70, Doug McCullough, and Bruce Thornton. There's some feeling between the ownership of the Houston Gamblers and the coach of the Denver Gold. I don't know that that necessarily transfers over amongst the playing personnel, but you remember that Mouse Davis and June Jones came over here from the Houston Gamblers staff, and there was a good deal of rancor in the aftermath of that, including fine monies that were later restored, I believe. But the feeling still exists. It's 2nd down and 9. Denver almost jumping offside. Dillon rolls, throws short, and Todd Fowler takes the lick this time from Darrell Hemphill. So old Darrell's getting his blows in, isn't he?
He certainly is. And by the way they're hitting, maybe some of those hard feelings do carry over.
Could be.
To the players. You know, Darrell Davis was brought down to Houston because they wanted to do something different in terms of marketing their football, putting together a high-profile offense that would generate some excitement. They brought in Jack Pardee to be a head coach because they wanted someone who had been a head coach and give them that stable picture of strong, solid football. So when Darrell left, it caused quite a stir, and they did not want him to leave. Thus, all the animosity between the two owners.
Dillon, sideline. Oh, boy, almost caught. Gerald McNeil trying to jump up and catch the ball over Calvin Lovell, and the pass underthrown a little bit, and Gerald almost pulled it off.
The young bear from Baylor was trying his hand in a little bit of acrobatics and also trying to draw the pass interference call, but he did make an exceptional effort to try and go up over the top of the defensive man and pull it in. One of the toughest passes to catch for a receiver.
Tony Fritch is into the game now for the Gamblers for a 46-yard field goal try. We have a halftime feature with Tony Fritch I think you'll find very, very interesting. He's 6 out of 6 at this distance. High snap, but the ball is down, and the kick is away, and it is right in the middle. So Tony Fritch nails one and gets the Houston Gamblers on the scoreboard at 5:20 to go in the first quarter. It's now Denver 7 and Houston 3.
I tell you, there's nothing like a hot steam bath and a cold light beer from Miller.
That's the truth. Light doesn't fill you up, so you can sit back and relax a while.
Ah, that tastes great.
Hey, Ben, how about another cold one?
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that ULC?
I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh. Whoa! Get out of here! Hurry up!
I got my hat. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Live today's Chevrolet with Cavalier.
Fly the coupe, pop the top. The look is trim, wheels non-stop as the road rolls on.
Today's Cavalier has the electronic fuel-injected power and front drive you're looking for, plus an interior that comforts your very soul. Pick the Cavalier that fits your life and live it.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Tomorrow on ABC's Monday Night Baseball, the front-running Toronto Blue Jays swing their booming bats against battling Billy Martin and the New York Yankees. Or the explosive Chicago Cubs collide with Tim Raines and the Montreal Expos on ABC's Monday Night Baseball tomorrow.
The little round man, native of Austria, 46-yard field goal to get the Houston Gamblers on the board. Nobody enjoys one that goes through the uprights more than Tony.
Young man who's, I say young man, a man who has never lost his enthusiasm for the game.
Well, that's the point, I think, of the halftime feature. He has regained new enthusiasm for life in general. Frank Corral will kick it off. Going down toward the corner and goes out of bounds. So that'll cost him 5. Oh, look at this. Number 63 downfield for Denver, who is Walt Downing, big as a house, big guy from Michigan, threw a block on Gerald McNeil, who is on the special teams. And McNeil weighs 140 pounds. And he just sort of reached out with a forearm and lifted Gerald about 3 feet in the air, and he landed about 7 feet away. I can't imagine a 140-pounder playing on the special teams, but there he is.
I think that was it was Clarence Verdun on this side of the field, number 89. Yeah.
I thought it was McNeil. He's out there sometimes too.
Yeah, they get the receivers out on special teams quite a bit because with that 4.4 and 4.3 speed, they'll get downfield and cover as fast as anyone. They're not the greatest tacklers in the world, but the big guys on the special teams take a special delight in finding them and giving them a little pop real quick, just to let them know they're looking for them.
San Antonio has gone ahead of Los Angeles 10-0 in the first quarter of their ball game. The payroll deadline was met yesterday by the owner, Clint Mangus, so it was a question if the payroll deadline had not been met, the San Antonio team was not going to play the ball game, but the money was paid with a $500 bonus, and the game is underway, and Corral's kicked it out of bounds again.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in a position where he's going to give the Denver Gold field position if he ever gets it in the playing field.
Denver Gold may opt to take the ball at the 40-yard line or 35-yard line, I think it would be.
They have the option, and that's probably what they will do. All right, now, the conversation.
Keith, I got to say, San Antonio, when they got the checks, do you believe there was a stampede to the bank to cash those babies? They're all cashier's checks, but I'm certain they wanted to make sure.
The checks were delivered on Saturday.
On Saturday? Well, they better find one of those banks that's open on Saturdays, one of those savings and loans.
They've accepted the ball rather than mess around with any more kicking, and they put it on the 40-yard line, which, 1, saves time, and 2, definitely is to the advantage of the Denver Gold because they've got it first down now at the 40 with 5:10 to play.
Only 60 yards to go to score points.
Bob Galliano turns and gives the ball to Bill Johnson, and Johnson, for the first time today, finds some running room as he cuts in for about 5, close to 6 yards on the carry. Ricky Sanders' condition, we can define it now with Tim Brent.
Keith, at first they thought it was a cracked rib. They were going to take him in for x-rays. Now I see they've suited you back up. Is it okay?
Oh, yeah, it feels a lot better. It just knocked the wind out of me. You know, and he got a pretty good shot on me. I'm going to be watching for it next time.
All right, Ricky. They have put a rib protector on him, and he is going to go back into the ballgame, Keith.
Tell him not to watch too much, Timmy.
Yeah, you can hear those thundering hooves.
Says don't watch out too much across that middle.
I know it. You got to keep your eyes off of him.
On 2nd and 5, Galliano, again with good protection, throws down the middle, and the pass intended for Mark Lewis is incomplete. I started to say a moment ago, there's conversations about both these football teams as to their marketability for the future, because it's rather certain that both teams are available. They're not openly on the market, but they are available. Houston operating with a $1.5 million loan from the USFL, and the league has said that it wants a schedule of payments. And Charlotte, North Carolina could be the alternate site if this franchise is moved out of Houston. Denver, on the other hand, has an alternate site of Honolulu. They have right of first refusal if they choose to move the franchise out of Denver, and support has not been particularly good this year. Back goes Galliano on 3rd down and 5. This time he drills the ball to Mark Lewis, and it's caught in front of Adrian Simpson for a first down.
There's one thing about this game that we should take note of right away, is that not a single pass has been caught where there has not been a crowd of defensive people around ready to make a hit. You see 3 defensive people right there around the play, one person making the stop. Now, normally against a run-and-shoot offense, you find a receiver with maybe one person around because they're throwing the ball so much, the receivers are so quick. But these secondaries are staying right on top of the receivers in this ball game.
Except for the one play.
The one play, and that 2 people there, that player slipped.
Yeah. Galliano is now 4 out of 8. First down. Ball on the 44, hands the ball to Bill Johnson, and Johnson gets about 3 yards before he is finally run down. The conversation with the Denver people having to do with the possibility of the move of this franchise, and Honolulu being the obvious one. Those talks are presently on hold between Doug Spedding, the owner of this franchise, and those who would like to move it to Honolulu. He has also been in conversation with some Southern California area businessmen about Mexico City. But the thing that jumps up at me immediately about Honolulu is travel costs.
And they were talking about maybe playing 4 games at home, coming back and using the Denver facilities to base out of, playing 4 games here. But I said this a long, long time ago when the NFL was thinking about Hawaii, and I thought it was not feasible.
Pretty difficult. Galliano with all day. Now you get a penalty flag. The ball is deflected. The pass is incomplete, and you've probably got a holding call.
It looked like they were trying to set up a screen, and in the process, someone may have been held.
Somebody got lost, didn't
Number 77, Pete Caton, was the man who knocked the ball away.
There was never a receiver open and available to Bob Galliano. And when you hold the defensive charge out that long, it's almost inevitably going to be a holding or illegal block.
Holding. Offense. Number 61. Second down.
You've got 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the ball game. There's the score we gave you some time back in the French Open men's final, with Mats Wilander beating Ivan Lendl.
That's his 2nd win in the French Open. He was the youngest player ever to win it when he was 18 years old. 1982.
Chrissy Everett won one yesterday, beating Navratilova.
Oh, what a stunning victory for her.
Ball comes back short of the 49 on the Denver side of the field. 2nd down and 20. Galliano pumps once, gets it away, hit as he throws, and the ball sails out of bounds. And his protection finally expired that time. Pete Caton, who at one time earlier this season wasn't sure that he would ever be able to play the game again, in fact was not even sure that he would have control of all of his physical faculties, but has come back from a nerve and spinal injury. Big guy from Eastern Illinois.
He missed about 5 ball games in that season, and his absence from the defense showed very much. Couple that with the absence of Tony Fitzpatrick, who was injured early in the season, and the defensive line of the Houston Gamblers has played well considering all those setbacks.
We've not called Ross Browner's name as yet. He has not been obvious in a defensive play, but he's out there. Pressure coming up the middle by Kika Diella, and a diving, scooping catch that is good by Lonnie Turner down behind first base.
Still short of
the first down.
That was a good catch. For a moment there, it looked like Lonnie was going to lose it. He was able to hold on to it.
It'll bring up 4th down and long. Watch the catch now as he comes back to the ball and scoops it.
See right there, the hit, the pressure on Galliano. Seaver making a great effort to come back to the ball. And the ball just rolling around. That's Diala, excuse me, Kiki. No linebacker coming in on the blitz.
Asmus is in to punt now. And Gerald McNeil is the punt returner while Verdun is the kickoff man. Asmus will try to hang it high and kill it deep, and he does just that. Ball takes a Denver bounce, and the Gold will put it down at the 15-yard line.
There's a flag out on the field.
1 minute, 11 seconds to play, and the flag was thrown back up around the 33.
Ineligible player, number 72.
It was a 25-yard punt, but worth more than that in that the ball was killed back at the 15. So let's see whether or not Houston wants them to do it again or if they're satisfied to take the ball just beyond the 15 at the 16.
They're going to refuse
They'll take the ball. So the Houston Gamblers would rather have the ball at their own 16 than let Asmus have another shot at the coffin corner.
Energizer Halogen, a light so bright, so white, no ordinary light can match it. The Energizer Halogen flashlight, up to 300% more light than ordinary flashlights. And it's Energizer rugged, even waterproof. The Energizer Halogen flashlight, so bright, so incredibly bright, it outshines ordinary flashlights, up to 300% brighter from Energizer.
I have taken on many fighters and tried many beers. One beer isn't a class by itself. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling. It weighs in at a third less calories than the regular beer. Yes, I discovered your greatest beer, but I never met your greatest fighter. Hey, who's this Billy Martin anyway?
Billy Martin? He's warm, he's gentle, good looking too.
I got to meet this guy.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
There are the Rockies. And I think we're going to get a little rain shower between us and the mountains here in a minute. ABC Sports will have the U.S. Open for you next weekend, the 20th consecutive year, which means we will not be here. A week off for the USFL folk. The 85th U.S. Open out of Oakland Hills Country Club South Course. The 5th time the tournament has been played there. Buzzy Zeller. Greg Norman amongst the field, of course. Buzzy with his sore back, the defending champion, and he's going, even though he's having problems, still in the back area. Todd Dillon on first down, comes outside with it. The pass is complete to Verdun, and he's brought down around the 19-yard line as Darrell Hemphill again makes the tackle.
Darrell's earning his keep this afternoon, that's for sure. With so many of the passes going into the slot backs, the two inside receivers of the four wide receivers that play the game for the Gamblers and in this run and shoot offense, the safety people are coming up on the inside will have the opportunity to make a lot of hits, and they're going to get there first to give help to a cornerback who might be beat.
It's second down and a little more than 6. Ball short of the 20. Ball is handed off to Harrell, and Harrell has no chance, as Mark Boobin was simply there as he took the handoff.
Boobin proving his worth right away.
First quarter is over, and after 15 minutes at Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Denver Gold lead the Houston Gamblers 7-3.
This is one of Nissan's most technologically advanced cars. It has computer-controlled carburation, a 4-cylinder overhead cam engine, 5-speed transaxle for precise front-wheel drive handling. Surprisingly, this is also Nissan's lowest-priced car, the Sentra, America's best-selling import. For an economy car that doesn't skimp on technology, the name is Nissan.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it.
On my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dander shampoo. But it's today's Head & Shoulders. It cares for my hair.
If you lived in a perfect world, you'd cook on something very like the Weber One Touch. It would give you perfect barbecue flavor because it would circulate heat like a convection oven to keep meats juicy. It would last for years, and it would clean itself with just a touch. Of course, you don't live in a perfect world, but you can cook on the perfect barbecue, the Weber One Touch. From the biggest name in your backyard, Weber.
This is the skid pad, the ultimate test in adhesion, where car and tire get pushed to the limit. Only one street tire on a standard production car has ever achieved 0.95 G. The Goodyear Eagle VR50, the American tire, even Europe is hungry for.
Jim Kelly at precious right leg for a right-handed quarterback. I would think if Jimmy is able to come back, one, it'll be remarkable, but two, if he does, he's going to have a brace. That'll cut down some on his mobility.
Well, he's been playing with a brace for some time this year when he sustained an injury to his left knee. And I talked with him and Jay Roulier about should he come back and play if he's healthy, when he should come back, and I'll let you know about that conversation in a few minutes.
It is 3rd down and 8 now for the Gamblers, and Denver got caught in the neutral zone and got away with it. My gosh, the man was standing right in front of the offensive lineman, no more than 6 inches, and I don't see a flag thrown as the pass is completed upfield to Scott McGee for a 1st down. I guess he got back enough, huh?
He did, got back just enough, but Todd Dillon took another shot, Keith, stayed down on the ground for a short while and got up very slowly, and then has to concern Jack Pardee, the head coach of the Gamblers, because he goes quite a bit down in talent and in terms of preparation if he has to use number 7 Threadgill. We'll take another look. We'll see the man jumping off sides. He gets back. His version of a matador, Ole.
Here's McGee now. Tough receiver. Little man, but he goes right in the thick of things. And number 46, Todd Fowler, a 6'4", 220-pounder out of Stephen F. Austin, headed for the Dallas Cowboys, sticks his head in the crowd and doesn't get anything out of it. Of course, Todd was hurt early in the year, too. He had a knee injured and missed the early going in the season. He's a big, strong youngster.
Yes, he is.
It'll be 2nd down and still about 10. The ball is just over the 30 as we're in the 2nd quarter of play. It took about 45 minutes to play that 1st quarter.
2nd and 10. Ball 30 yards.
It's quite cool now with that little thunderstorm just out here behind the stadium. Dillon's pass is away, and again it is sharply thrown and caught for a 1st down up around the 41-yard line. Threw that ball very well, drilled it right in between 2 defenders, and right there was Vince Corvell, who is 5'10", 165, Vinny from Rice.
So you see very quickly, after 1 period of play and a couple of minutes into the 2nd, that Todd Dillon does have a very accurate arm. He's got good power, and he's adjusting well, playing a very good game with his receivers.
He set all kinds of collegiate records while at Cal State Long Beach. In this game, he's 9 out of 11 for 84 yards now. But they don't have a touchdown. They trail by a score of 7-3 from the 41 1st down Gamblers. Dillon down the middle, drills it again, and the pass is caught by Mark Baruch out of McNeese State. And Baruch will have another Houston 1st down on the Denver side of the field at the 43.
Baruch was being dragged down in the middle of the football field, and number 40, Jeff Delaney, was coming over the top. Carswell was making the tackle, and he was looking for another opportunity, number 40, Jeff Delaney, of just sticking the receiver, letting them know that they want to pay a real big price.
Houston coming up quickly to the football now. That's a Friday night score. Memphis rebounding after a couple of losses to beat Orlando 41-17 and stay in the playoff hunt. 1st down. Dillon stays in the air. Gets tangled up, and he is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Fowler was back there trying to block for him, but a bunch of big black shirts were coming, and there's just too many of them.
Fowler's trying to block. They're doing a pretty good job of getting people. All the people are actually on the ground. Fowler coming back. You see he makes a good block there. He cuts a guy down, but all the bodies strewn out in the football field. Todd Dillon moving into the pocket. He just tripped over number 70, Doug McColas.
So the ball comes back to the 48, second sack of the Houston quarterback in the ball game. And the first one, early on in the first quarter, banged up his lower back. He's a little gimpy. It's second down at about 15. There's an offside, unless there was offensive line movement. Number 99, Calvin Turner, when he realized that he was across the line of scrimmage, immediately pointed at Rob Taylor. So let's see if the officials agree. They do not.
I'll just take a little bit of this time. Darryl, a little upset. We talk about Kelly and the fact that Roulier, we were talking about when he would be back, his availability for the playoffs. Now, Kelly said he would be available for the playoffs. We take a look at the replay of the last play, the defense jumping offside. On the left side, clearly an infraction because he makes contact. But Kelly said he wanted to be back to play in the playoffs, and he said, well, if it meant my career, if I wasn't 100% and felt I couldn't do it, I won't do it, and no matter what the owners or coaches say, I wouldn't go back in and play.
Pass is thrown underneath to Todd Fowler coming out of the backfield. He's got to be short of the first down as Jeff Delaney, who came out of Pitt, played at the Los Angeles Rams, Detroit, and Tampa, and Maulers before he came here. Not the fastest guy on the football field, but a very heady player, a pre-med student out of Pittsburgh. Yesterday, in blistering heat at Legion Field in Birmingham, the Stallions beat Baltimore 14-7. Cliff Stout had a big day. I mean, it was really hot. They had 24,300. And last night, Portland upset the Tampa Bay Bandits 27-24, and now the Bandits are in a scramble to make the playoffs. It's third down and 4 for the Houston Gamblers. Play action. Delaney pressures Dillon. He gets it away. The pass caught by Mark Barus. First down for the Gamblers inside the 20, just inside.
Todd Dillon showing a good amount of courage here, playing with some pain, rolling out. And the ball of the pass is that could hurt his back. The muscles back there. Throwing on the run like this could.
Yeah, but Delaney is closing on him. If he doesn't get that ball away, he's bound to take another wallop.
Well, that's right. But he throws and he has to twist his upper torso to do so. He's 12 for 14, 122, completed 6 passes in a row.
Gamblers have a threat going with the first down at the Denver 20. 11:16 to go in the first half. Playoff very much in the minds of both these teams as Dillon sets and throws it short down the middle. I don't really know who he was throwing that ball to. He must have lost control of it because there was nobody really near it.
I think he just misread that. He thought the receiver was coming back on the inside. The receiver stayed to the outside. Fortunately for him, there was no one on the inside. No. They said they were going to try and give Dillon about 5 different looks in this ball game, try and put some pressure on him and force him to misread the coverage and thus causing a mistake. That might have been one right there.
There was an upset last night down in Arizona with Arizona beating Oakland 28-21, and that loss by Oakland keeps the door open for the Western Conference title for the Denver Gold. To the corner, McNeil on a fadeaway, and he can't quite reach it.
Just missed that one. Number 27, Calvin Lowell, was in on the coverage. Calvin looks on the inside for the ball, and as soon as he looks to the inside, the ball was thrown, but McNeil was to the outside. He had some room there, a little cushion to the sideline. The ball was just thrown over his head and out of bounds where he couldn't reach it, Keith.
It's third down and 10 from the 20 for the Houston Gamblers. Denver leads 7-3. Denver coming in at 10-5 and Houston coming in at 9-6, and Dillon back, going to run with it, and gets about 7 yards before he is clobbered. Mark Boobin and Darrell Hemphill were the people that put the hit on him. And now out comes Tony Fritsch one more time. Tony having hit a 46-yarder for Houston's own the scoring. This will be much shorter. They've spotted the ball at the 14, so this will be 31 yards.
There's not much of a wind to affect the kick.
It was a flash of lightning just over the corner of the stadium a while ago. So it's a perfect setting for Tony, a little thunder and lightning. Myers got it down, the kick is up, and it is good. So Tony Fritsch is 2 for 2 today from 46 and 31 yards with 10:16 to play in the first half. It is now Denver 7 and the Houston Gamblers have 6. And the threat of rain is imminent.
For over 60 years, people have trusted Rust-Oleum to protect metal from rust. Now, after helping protect things in yards across America, Rust-Oleum is hitting the road. Rust-Oleum introduces the first complete line of products formulated to prevent rust on cars. New body fillers, touch-up paints, even waxes. They all protect against rust so your car will look better longer. Nobody fights rust like Rust-Oleum.
We just found out that Booby here drinks the same beer as me, Corky, Sparky, Buck, and Boom Boom. Light beer from Miller. Now, Booby, Buck, and Boom Boom like light because it's got a third less calories than the regular beer and it's less filling, while Corky and Sparky drink it for the great taste. So Boom Boom, Buck, and Booby don't necessarily drink it for the same reason as Sparky and Corky. They all agree that light's the best beer to buy. Isn't that right, Booby?
You bet, Boom Boom.
Right, Bart?
You got it, Corky. What about that, Sparky?
You said it, Boog.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less.
The U.S. Open is golf legends Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson. Live coverage begins Saturday on ABC.
The temperature is down considerably as a result of that black cloud, a thunderstorm that seems to be marching right toward us. Let's hope it misses us by 100 yards. High hanging kickoff. Back inside the end zone, Lonnie Harris coming out with it, going to the outside. And he goes out of bounds up around the 30-yard line, trying to get a picket on that side. Harris had one nullified by an illegal block earlier on a punt return. So he gives them pretty good field position, and Denver leads by 1.
Don't be alarmed. You're watching a man at work.
Let's see, I know it's here somewhere. Ah, found it.
I remember we were panicked. Find a home that last day or fly home not knowing where we'd lived. But our Century 21 broker wouldn't give up.
He showed us the last house late that night. And guess what? Perfect and at the right price. How do you find people like that?
All you gotta do is pick up the phone. Put number 1 to work for you. Century 21.
I'm here for my appointment.
You'll have to leave your car.
A foreign car dealer may not be the easiest place to get a foreign car muffler, struts, or brakes. At Midas, you don't need an appointment, and Midas has over 1,400 locations. You'll have the work done at the right price, usually while you wait.
Mr. B, your foreign car dealer called. They have to order your muffler. It'll take a week, so why didn't you go to Midas?
Trust the Midas touch.
Choosing a VCR can be a very confusing experience. This might make the decision easier. Now you can get this wireless remote control VCR with 14-day 4-event memory for just $399.99. Save $100. And this remote control cable-compatible color TV is just $369.99. At Sears' biggest home electronic sale of the summer.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Well, the Los Angeles Lakers have finally beaten the Boston Celtics in a championship series in the NBA, winning today 111-100 and winning the best-of-7 series 4 games to 2. So the L.A. Lakers, the world champions of basketball.
Congratulations to Coach Pat Riley. So that means the custodian at the Boston Gardens can turn the heat down now.
That's right. It's first down. The ball is out at the 27. First down for the Denver Gold, and the handoff goes to Billy Johnson, looking for some help, and can't find enough.
Got a little help, but from the wrong people. None Van Hughes, the left tackle. First man in on that stop.
You're going to lose a couple of yards on that play. They've moved it back from near the 28, closer to the 26, with 9:40 to go in the first half. Billy Johnson's longest run so far today, a mere 6 yards.
Kelly, Dillon, Fritch on the sideline. Kelly giving him some words of encouragement.
2nd down and 12 for Denver. Galliano's pass, the man wide open on the fly. It's Leonard Harris, and pulled down inside the 10-yard line. And a penalty flag. Might have been an inadvertent face mask.
Mike Mitchell looked like when he came over and made the stop, Keith, as he was going down, he just turned around and took a swing at him while he was going down to the ground.
Well, that was not a very smart thing to do.
Leonard Harris was wide open in the seam against the zone coverage.
Face mask.
Well, we call face mask. 35%. Your first down. We'll take a look. Zone coverage. Everybody's dropping back deep in the center of the field. And Harris somehow wide open. Look at the great amount of time Galliano gets coming in that seam. He makes a catch. Luther Bradley comes over. He stops, goes by Luther Bradley. Here's the tackle, and he grabs the face mask. Take another look, a better look at the face mask. Number 35 is Mike Mitchell. He grabs him right there. You see it. And you see again, he comes down with the arm.
Leonard Harris has been the big play man so far in the game for Denver. His second catch there, he totals 129 yards, and he scored the Denver touchdown. He's out of Texas Tech, 5'8", 185 pounds. And it's first down and goal to go for the Denver Gold at the 4 of Houston. And Dillon throws it short. Billy Johnson, and Billy's down right about the line of scrimmage.
Mike Mitchell made the tackle the only place he could have to stop Bill Johnson from rambling in for a touchdown. He went low, caught him about the knees, got under him and toppled him like an old oak tree, as opposed to hitting him waist high and having Bill Johnson using his superior size and strength to drive him into the ground and into the end zone.
Probably here in the background, the thunder from that little thunderstorm that's hanging around.
That thunder, the 5 people up here are stomping their feet.
It's thunder. Dillon back again. Goes short with it. It's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell, and Mike runs it out to about the 8-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds. And Dillon tried to force it and turns it over.
He hesitated, like it pulled, like it was a yo-yo. He pulled it back on that little drawstring. He had a receiver coming around in the back of the end zone and looked like it was going to be open. I was pointing to him. I thought he was going to throw it there. But he just kind of sidearmed it right there, threw it behind the receiver, and Mike Mitchell was right there. It was already beyond the end zone, so he had to bring it out.
It was pretty cluttered down the middle. He tried to force it.
See right there, he just really didn't have anything on it.
So it's a turnover for the Denver Gold. They lose a golden opportunity to add to their point total. They still lead by 1.
Here's hard-working news from Chevy Trucks. Now, low 8.8 financing on new full-size C10 and 20 pickups. That's an average savings of about $1,300 on C10 Chevys. An average savings of about $1,500 on C20s. Big Chevy work trucks with tough girder beam front suspension. 8.8 financing on full-size Chevy trucks. Nothing works harder for your buck. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
What a finish by Williams. Just one hurdle left.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Oh, flag down on the field. Hopkins is called for clipping.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Nice comeback by Reynolds, facing one of the most consistent players in the game.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's Thirst Aid.
Gatorade is Thirst Aid. For that deep down body thirst.
Tomorrow, the front-running Toronto Blue Jays battles Billy Martin's New York Yankees, or the explosive Chicago Cubs collide with the Montreal Expos on ABC's Monday Night Baseball.
Well, despite all the thunder and lightning, we still haven't had any rain. So maybe we're going to luck out, huh? It's first down for Houston at their own 8-yard line after the interception by Mike Mitchell. Another ball game of significance in this weekly schedule will be played tomorrow night. Jacksonville will be at New Jersey.
Well, Keith,
That'll
the rain is now coming down.
Yep, just arrived.
Lightning flashing and real thunder in the sky.
As long as we don't get any hail, that'll be all right. Exciting. Passes away. Dillon drills it. Barus catches. And he, I think, is a yard or so, 2 yards short of the first down. As Dillon that time showed good mobility and a good arm on the run.
He sure did. There are two things I think we have to take note of again in this ball game, Keith. The receivers, you see the fans scampering to get under the cover. This is not a sellout for this ball game, so there's ample seating underneath the deck so they can get away from a lot of this rain. But the receivers, when they go in motion, Keith, have to go beyond that slot man to keep their line. They veer back, and on both teams, they are coming forward towards the line of scrimmage, and the officials, time and time again, never call that on either of these two teams.
And off to Sam Harrell, looking for the first down, and he's close to it. He had to get up around the 19, and a majestic bolt of lightning flashes across the sky. I remember one time getting caught in a golf course with a quick little thunderstorm here, and we all stored our clubs and mouses going to the rain gear there.
Probably
sat down in a sand in a bunker. And just sat there, let it rain, because I wasn't about to get into high ground or under a tree, and no building was available.
Now, I know you said that was a majestic bolt of lightning, majestic for us watching it. I wonder what was underneath it.
First down, near the 20 for the Houston Gamblers. They trail 7-6 with 7 minutes to play in the first half. The pass is intercepted. It is picked off by Lance Shields. And Shields puts Denver in good field position inside the 20 of Houston.
Great job. Lance Shields came over to the Denver Gold with Mark Boobin in the trade from the Arizona Outlaws. Helped shore up and play in that secondary. Reads to play extremely well here. Is in great position. The ball is just really overthrown. There's not a number 89. Clarence Redan can't get to it. Then he comes back and he finds his defensive unit setting up a wall like a punt return on the far side. Picks up some yards with the ball inside the 20-yard line. You see Redan, the ball's overthrown. He can't make a play on it.
Ball right on the 19.
Away from him a little bit, Keith.
Ball's right on the 19 where it's a first down. Galliano gives the ball to Bill Johnson. Johnson shrugs away from one pileup of would-be tacklers and surges in there for about a yard, and that's all he'll get. So they've been able to control Big Bill pretty well.
Say something about this field. Underneath this field, they've got the pumps that can suck out a lot of the water and moisture on this field. They can water it from underneath also, so the field stays in very good shape. They've probably got the pumps starting to work now to take care of any excess water that may come down on this field. This infield is going to be muddy for a while, so that's going to play a part in the second half when they turn it around.
Second down and 9. Pitch out to Bill Johnson. They're staying on the ground, and Johnson rams his way down around the 13-yard line before Ross Browner and Pete Caton bring him down. Here's Tim Brent.
All right, Keith, the rain is really coming down now, and as Swanee mentioned, this is one of the better fields as far as raining. I'm more concerned with the thunder and lightning. Having talked to the players with all the metal that they're wearing, they are also concerned about the lightning. The only problem I think the rain will cause...
There's one problem with the thunder and lightning. Oh, we lost our power
off the air for a minute.
Jimmy, we're back. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Well,
I'm heading for cover, I guarantee you.
Well, just as you spoke about, we're still not on the air as far as the picture is concerned. But
the point I was going to make about the field, of course, is the dirt infield, and I think all the receivers have huddled, and they are talking about that. But right now, it is the lightning, of course, which is taking precedence down here.
I frankly think if they could really afford to take a break here, because I don't think this is going to last very long, and it might be possible they should even take a 5 or 10-minute break here and let the immediacy of the storm pass by, because it's not a particularly large storm, and you can see some clearing at both sides of the stadium, but right over the stadium, it is just pummeling us.
And there are a group of people, Keith, right across our press box who are sitting underneath the lights and who are not moving. I do not think that is such a wise decision on their part.
Well, the lights We had our power knocked off for a moment, but as you can see, it is back, and the rain is really pouring down, and I think the officials are showing good judgment here and just taking a minute to sort of let this thing pass along, because I don't think it's going to last very long.
Well, I think what they ought to do is let both teams get off the field. I'm talking about the teams, the offense and defensive units on the playing field right now. Give them a chance to get away from such open territory. We'd hate to see any one of them hit by lightning.
You know, remember the football game in 1976? And I still had the All-Star game in Chicago.
I played in that game.
Did you? That's the only football game I've ever seen. It was literally rained out.
I tell you, it was during the Olympics up in Montreal. And the field right now, both teams are going into the locker room.
This does pass over, so we're going to the locker room with them.
Okay. See there, both teams clearing the football field, going indoors. That doesn't make the fans sitting in the stands too happy. They're being subjected to the rain, but it is the wisest thing to do.
As I said, I don't think it's going to last very long, but it's coming down in torrents right now and giving everything a soaking.
Well, we started talking about that All-Star game in Chicago. It was in the second half of that game, the fourth quarter. The rain was coming down, and I can't say it was coming down, but it was actually blowing across the field, and it was so thick, it almost looked like a foggy day. You couldn't see across. And people were coming out of the stands, sliding on the football field, and the commissioner called that game off. We never did finish it.
Yeah, left in the third quarter. That was a record promotion night or some such thing was going on. I remember because I was involved in the Olympic coverage, and I had done so many of those previous All-Star games, and I was very happy to be left in Montreal in that particular week because it was brutal. But the storm now is moving right along, and the rain seems to be letting up just a little bit. I don't think it's going to last very long, and I certainly think they made the right decision. Just leave the field, and when it passes, come on back.
To my knowledge, Keith, there have been very few games that have ever been called off, except that one game you just mentioned in Chicago. And, you know, it would have to be under the worst of circumstances, I believe.
When the Big Q flows, America goes.
Still beautiful, Dad.
Took your brother through college, take you wherever you want to go.
On Quaker State.
Right. Smooth oil flow is what you want. Protects the engine. See, Quaker State starts with Pennsylvania-grade crude, delivers stable viscosity.
You get great protection with the Big Q.
Hey, how come you know so much?
From listening to you.
Quaker State. The Big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
At center, basketball's premier.
You know, there are more and more places today where you can't smoke, like here at the game. But when I want tobacco pleasure, I still make out like a bandit with these Skull Bandits. Skull Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. Just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste wherever you are. I like the wintergreen. My buddy goes for mint. So when you can't smoke, you can still make out like a bandit with Skull Bandits. The little pouch of tobacco pleasure. Keith, we have just been asked to leave the locker room here. Mouse Davis has pulled his Denver ball club together and told them to get off their feet, try to rest a little bit, use this as a break to catch your wind. He was also huddling with his receivers and with Galliano, and they were going over the game plan and trying to find out where, in fact, they could execute and get that run and shoot to work a little better. They think they've had a lot of success with their play-action plays, and they have, in fact. You've seen that. Harris has broken loose several times with that kind of scheme, and he's been going underneath and trying to pick up a pick here or two. But mostly, they're just trying to regroup mentally, trying to get off their feet a little bit and rest. And if you can hear us, it's a very quiet, business-like type locker room down here on the Denver side.
Well, we can hear you, Timmy, and can you hear him, Keith?
I heard him.
Okay.
I don't hear anybody else, including you, but nonetheless. But I still think it's the right decision because thunderstorms in this part of the country this time of the year are indeed volatile things, boy, and I don't think there's any sense in messing around with them.
I've played in snowstorms, I've played in hail and rainstorms and freezing temperatures, and played when it's over 100 degrees, but there's nothing that would get me out there to play under conditions where there's lightning coming down. You can't play effective football in weather like this. You can barely keep the ball dry.
The rain now is virtually gone, so it's going to be a quick thing, and it's while we're waiting for the two teams to come back onto the field, and this is simply like baseball. It's a rain delay and will be resumed very shortly. To go back and recap the circumstance involving this ball game, what with the Oakland Invaders losing last night to Arizona, and I understand that Bobby Hebert, who didn't play very long, but has had the flu or was having a problem with the flu and was ineffective in that particular game. It's hard to play when you got the flu. But nonetheless, they lost that ball game and set up this kind of a circumstance in the Western Conference. Oakland now 11-4-1. So you can see that if Denver wins this ball game today against Houston, then they'll only be a half a game back. Now, they don't play the Oakland Invaders, but Houston does.
Yeah, they played the Oakland Invaders twice this year, and they lost both times. So in a tie-breaking situation, which this won't be because of the one tie that Oakland has there, Oakland would come out on top. Houston can play them. Houston can do themselves a lot of good if they can win today and win the rest of their schedule and be in a little bit more control of their own destiny.
The Denver road games, they're both on the road, will be against Portland and Jacksonville, and both of those teams are capable. You saw last night that Portland pulled off their second upset in a row as they defeated Tampa Bay. And I'm a little curious. Now, John Reeves threw the football all over the stadium, went for better than 300 yards last night, and yet they came up on the short end.
Well, it's a classic case of throwing the football up and down the field between the 20s. You can come out here and amass a lot of great statistics, but you still come away empty-handed if you don't put the ball in the end zone. And that's probably what happened to him there.
Yeah.
As you see our silhouettes there.
Well, it's a bit rowdy outside right now. As you can see, the problem we're having with power, and there's an example of what is coming down out of the sky. Wicked looking bolts of lightning piercing down toward the earth, and we have no way of knowing. Of course, they've had some very bad weather up in Michigan and up in the Wisconsin area where they had some tornadoes that have caused all kinds of troubles for the people. Recapping the scores while we're waiting for the weather to quiet down, Memphis, after two losses, finally got a big ball game out of Mike Kelly again and ran over the Orlando Renegades by a score of 41-17. Now, Memphis has the advantage in the home schedule as they now go to a record of 9-7. And you got the ball game tomorrow night with Jacksonville at New Jersey, which will have some meaning insofar as the Memphis Showboats in the playoffs are concerned. Right now, let's go to Tim Brandt and Jim Kelly.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. First of all, Jim, have you ever seen a game like this where it has actually been stopped until they wait for the weather to clear?
No, one time when I was in college, it wasn't stopped, but it rained just as hard, but nothing like the lightning here, though.
Let's talk about you. I know that you originally said that you, in fact, would be back for the final game of the regular season. You would be back to finish the season. What does it look like now? Will it be the playoffs?
Well, that's what I'm shooting for. Hopefully it's the playoffs. It all depends how our team stands near the end of the season, how my knee feels. I have too much to lose by going out there and hurting myself. I have a career ahead of me. I'm 25 years old, and I think I'm smart enough to go back in when I think it's 100%. If it's 90%, I'm not ready. I'm just going to wait till it's 100%.
Jimmy, it looks to me as if you are evaluating this as well as you can. I know your agent has contacted you and the team and said don't come back for one game just to, if it would ruin your career.
Well, I feel from my agent what he's saying, but the only person that's going to decide whether Jim Kelly comes back is myself. Whatever he says, that's what he says. I think he's a great person. I can understand what he's saying, but from my standpoint, I think I'm smart enough to come back when I feel I'm ready.
No secret about the way things stand in the league, and some of the teams, of course, with their financial situations the way they are. This could, in fact, be the final game in Mile High Stadium for Denver. Houston also faces a very catastrophic situation. How about your contract now? Is it written in such a way that you could, in fact, get out of it if you wanted to, or is it a personal services?
Well, it all depends what situations. If they go to another city, I can. There's so many things in it that I can get out and I can't. We're just going to have to leave it up to my agents and jury arguments to decide. I love it in Houston. Who knows? Right now, I hear it's a 50% chance that I'm going to stay in Houston where the team is. And I just keep my fingers crossed because I know once everybody knows what we're going to do and knows what the league's going to do, we're going to have our own support.
One thing I love about you is your candidness, and you are outspoken, and you say what's on your mind. You have been outspoken about going to Buffalo. You don't want to go there. If you had your choice, where would you go in the National Football League to get the type of productivity you had here and Marino had where he is?
Well, it all depends. If I become a free agent after a couple years, if I have to go to Buffalo, I have to go to Buffalo. And if I have to play for them, I'll give 100% just like any other team. But, I'm from Pittsburgh. I love the Steelers. I've always loved them. But it all depends. Like, look at Bernie Kosar. He decided he wanted to go to Cleveland. He got to pick his team. I wish I was in that same situation. But I just going to have to look at it when that time comes up. And who knows? I'd love to play for the Cowboys. I'd love to play for the Raiders or Pittsburgh. I'm the three top ones.
the severity of the knee. The way I understand it, no tears.
No tears, had no operation on it. It feels great. It's a matter of me working on it and to keep listening to what the doctor has to say. It feels great. I can jog on it. This is not very much lateral movement yet, but I will be back.
One final question. I know that you've always admired the Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw. What about Lynn Swann? Could he work into your system?
Well, he could have a couple years ago, right, Lynn?
Hey, Timmy.
I hear you, Swann.
Tell him if he'd like to play for Pittsburgh, I think I can work out a deal.
He says if you want to play in Pittsburgh, he thinks he can work out a deal.
Okay, I'll work out with you because my father wants me to play there, too. First things first, I'm here in the USFL. I love it. Gamblers been treating me very well, and the people in Houston, I have no complaints whatsoever.
Okay. Back up to you, Keith. Lynn?
Well, I would say that wherever he winds up, he will be a plus for whatever team he goes to, because I guess he comes about as close as any young quarterback I know of right now that has the kind of an arm that Terry Bradshaw brought to the Steelers.
He's got a strong arm. He is so accurate, and not just accurate up to 25 or 30 yards, but he's accurate 45 and 50 yards downfield. Such great pinpoint passes to receivers who are running post patterns, flags into the corner, deep crossing routes, and that's invaluable. You can't teach that. That has to be something that is more of a natural talent, a God-given ability. We'll take a look at the one touchdown today that was thrown to Leonard Harris by Bob Galliano. And here, he does a very good job. You see, he drops straight back. He's a little half rolled to the right. The only real big highlight in today's ball game. Looks over to his left, finds Leonard Harris, who's just running a streak pattern down the sideline. There you see the problems with the infield. Defensive player falling down. Harris coming up with the catch. He breezes into the end zone for the score.
Leonard might well have scored even if Devon had not fallen down as he turned back to look for the ball and slipped and fell down. Well, they won't be slipping and sliding because of loose dirt on the infield. It's going to be because of mud right now, and you can see that the water has gathered quite a bit along the base paths of the baseball field, and though the rain is now just about diminished, I'd like to see those pumps start sucking that water out a little more vigorously than they are, because there are some pronounced puddles out in the dirt portion of the infield.
Oh, it reminds me of the Cleveland Stadium when I played football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We go into Cleveland, you play on that dirt infield, and if it rained, you come away with the muddiest uniforms. It was kind of fun. We couldn't tell who played for who. We were so dirty.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes you can't, you're not going to get hurt as much either, rolling around and wallowing around and thrashing around in the mud. Because sometimes you might slip and slide and lose a play, but at least you'll have an opportunity to come away unscathed. Mouse Davis now with Tim Brandt.
Okay, Mouse, have you been appraised of the situation and talked to the officials?
They told us just a bit ago that it would be 5 or 6 minutes before the lights went back on. I see some of them going on right now before all of them are on. And then they'll advise us as to how long it's going to take before we get back on the field.
A couple of things that go through my mind. First of all, the conditions of the field. Now, we mentioned it does drain quite well, but of course down at the infield, that could cause some problems in a run-and-shoot scheme.
It is really amazing, though, what kind of drainage you do get. It's kind of although it's grass, it's an artificial growing surface, so it drains extremely fast. And I don't really think that'll be a major factor if we can get those big lightning bolts to stop. Those are a little scary, Tim.
Oh, especially when you're carrying around this TV equipment.
Hey, I took my wires off immediately.
Mouse, the emotion in this game, extremely high, and of course we talked about some of the things that were said back and forth during the week, some ugly things that were said in the paper. Does a break like this, in fact, take some of the edge off of the players?
Well, we were excited about getting in the end zone, but we'll be excited about getting on it when we get back out there. You'd rather not have this occur, but you'd rather not play in the conditions that were evident out there either. So I think it was the best thing to do, and we'll just wait until we're advised by the officials what our next step is.
We are in a unique situation here with the play stopped in the first half where we can actually evaluate what has taken place. Are you pleased with your performance?
Well, we were semi-pleased. We were very disappointed that we didn't get in the last time we were down there. We thought we had a legitimate chance for the touchdown, came away with nothing. We would certainly like not to have that occur again.
I've got to ask you this. I was on the Houston side, and I heard some of the razzing they were doing to Calvin Lovall, and they didn't think he could cover McNeil, and he seems to stay with him pretty well. What kind of speed does he have?
Calvin is sub 4.5. McNeil is sub 4.4, but both of them are extremely fast. I think he's done an excellent job thus far, but both their wideouts have excellent speed, and we're very pleased that Lance Shields came up with a big pick.
Okay. All right, Mouse. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Timmy.
All right, Keith, Lynn.
This is the second time that Denver has been nailed in a rain delay. What was it, 57 minutes in 1983? They were delayed in a thunderstorm and rain down in Tampa. And it can rain like the dickens down there, too. So we're told now we're probably about 5 minutes away from the two teams coming back on the field and resuming play in the first quarter, and we'll get on with it. With the Denver Gold leading the Houston Gamblers by a score of 7-6.
Boy, could I go for a nice cold light beer from Miller. So I thought I'd just pop in at my favorite hangout and have one with the guys. Well, the whole gang drinks light. Oh, sure, there's a lot of other light beers around, but we all agree that light beer from Miller tastes terrific. And get this, it's less filling.
John, how many times have I told you, use the door, huh? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Like I was saying, light beer tastes great. And another thing.
When you take one of these things up, you've got a crew to help. When it comes to my car and truck, I do the work myself. In 40 years, AC spark plugs have never let me down. And with today's technology, AC fire ring spark plugs are engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles reliable performance. Never wait for trouble. Go with AC fire ring spark plugs.
Now get rebates on AC spark plugs. Call 1-800-AC-DELCO for a participating dealer.
ABC's Monday night presentation of baseball got your choice tomorrow night if you're in a particular area. The Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Yankees in the American League, or in the National League, the Chicago Cubs and the Montreal Expos, and all four of those teams very much in the thrash. So check your local listings for the game in your area. And the Blue Jays were finally lost the game yesterday to the Detroit Tigers, but they pounded the Tigers pretty well the first couple of times in that series. And of course, Sutcliffe came back the other day off the disabled list and pitched a dandy for the Cubs. So all those are contenders, and those are the games on ABC tomorrow night. Now the teams are starting to come back out of the locker room and come back onto the field, and I think the thunderstorm is gone. It leaves in its wake some very heavy conditions. Tim Brandt's down there to give us a read on it.
Keith, when they come out, this is in fact what they'll be playing on. This is the infield part which we have talked about and expounded upon. It is very wet, very slippery. What makes it especially tough is the fact that both of these teams, as we've mentioned throughout the first half, run the run-and-shoot offense. That, in fact, is a passing scheme, and I know Mouse and a couple of other coaches said in the beginning they may go through a game and not run the ball at all passes. That's how important it is to both of these teams. They love to throw. So you bring in 4 or 5 receivers, and when they come off of this grass onto this, it's going to make quite a difference. First of all, there's about a 2-inch drop from the grass onto the dirt portion. Not only the drop, but then the wetness. There is water, standing water all over it, and it is, in fact, very, very muddy. As you get down to the water, this was some pretty good sand early on, which did not affect the feet too much of the receivers. But now, of course, it is mud, it is thick, it is sloppy, it is soup, and it's going to be very difficult to play on. Both teams now on the field. The officials have come back out. The lights are working. It looks like we're ready to tee it up and go back to work, Keith.
Timmy?
Timmy?
Timmy, can you hear me? Timmy, I'm wondering if the equipment people, while they're in the locker room, took the time to change the length of the cleats on many of the receivers to give them a better grip on this field.
Well, let me, in fact, go over here and ask. Luther Bradley's warming up. Luther, did you all change your cleats in there when you were trying to get all dressed and ready to come back out?
No, not really. You know, everything is about the same. You know, we don't think that we have to make any adjustments or any changes, shoes or anything.
Well, now, I was just talking about the receivers, the tough time they'll have coming off the table onto the dirt and the mud. Of course, you'll be backpedaling, so I would think they have an advantage when you get to that part of the field.
Yeah, definitely when they get to where the mud is, the offense will have the advantage. But, you know, we're probably going to have to play a little bit more zone in that area.
Okay, thank you, Luther. Back up to you, Swanee.
Okay.
Galliano warming up. 3rd down and 4 coming up, with the Denver Gold leading by a score of 7-6 in the second quarter of play. 5 minutes and 28 seconds remaining before halftime. So for the second time that we know of in the USFL, a game has been delayed by a thunderstorm. The first one being 1983, Denver at Tampa, and here in Denver today. And I didn't want to bring up to Mouse the fact that this was the second time that Denver had been involved in being chased off the field by a thunderstorm. I thought it might plant something.
Yeah.
Because Mouse was not here in 1983. There's the kind of lightning that when you look at something like that, you don't have to be a Phi Beta Kappa to know it's time to get in the house.
Time to get in the house, time to run into the house, hoist the lightning rod, and lay on the floor.
30-second clocks will not operate, we're told, for a little while.
That just means the officials will keep the clock running themselves down on the field.
So from just inside the 14-yard line, 3rd down and 4 for the Denver Gold. And Galliano handles the first snap all right. They run the reverse. The ball is given to Troy Johnson. Johnson inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 6, and he will have a 1st and goal for the Denver Gold. So they go to a trick play coming out of the locker room, and it works for them.
It's a little chancy in terms of the ball handling because you're flipping the ball out there, but look at the way the defense reacts to it. You see Kiki Diala coming across the middle. The entire secondary stayed at home on the far side of the field, so Mike Mitchell was able to come up and make a play on the runner.
The ball is put closer to the 5. It's 1st and goal Denver at the Houston 5. 5:20 to go, first half. Pitch out to Billy Johnson on a sweep. A lot of white shirts to greet him at the 5, and he bangs ahead to the 4 at least, maybe the 3. Will Lewis, a cornerback, and Jose Taylor, the principal tacklers on the play. And Denver trying to get some leverage on the corner for the big back.
They're trying to go after number 61, Greg Loberg, the left tackle, was blocking on Pete Caton on that play. Reached up and just grabbed Pete just a little bit by the sleeves there, trying to slow him down, but he wasn't able to slow him down, and Pete Caton in turn was able to cut off the inside running alley for Johnson on that play.
Officially, we were delayed 21 minutes. 2nd down and goal from the 4. Coming this way with Billy Johnson. Has a hole, and then coming up from the secondary. It might have been Diala coming across from the middle, but somebody hit him with some authority when it looked like Johnson might be able to bang it on in.
Ruckmore was a man getting up by the bottom of the call. I think it might have been him. Diala came across, and also Mike Mitchell. That's what they talk about when they mean gang tackling. Bill Johnson is so big and strong that one man is not going to bring him down and stop him from driving for a yard, maybe 2 in a situation like that. He had a good head of steam. So one player comes up, makes contact, slows him up, and everybody jumps on top of him to stop him right there.
3rd and goal from the 2. Dillon drops to throw. Goes to the corner. No good. Adrian Simpson, number 21, was right there. The pass was intended for Mark Lewis.
Adrian played it extremely well right there in the center of the end zone where the receiver could go, where Lewis could have gone deep or could have come back short. And he tried to come back short, but he was there to turn around, make it a tough catch on Lewis, and he couldn't make it.
And they will go for the field goal, trying to get some points out of this possession at 3:46 to go in the first half, leading 7-6. And in comes Jim Asmus. Last week against Los Angeles, he was 2 out of 2 and 3 out of 3 on his points. He picked up 9 points in the ball game. This is a 19-yarder, and Galliano will hold it. The snapper is Steve Johnson. It is wet. Everything works.
And he misses.
But he missed to the right. The snap was good. It looked like the hole was pretty good, but Asmus skins the ball and drills it off to the right side. Maybe he slipped when he came up to hit the ball, but another glorious scoring opportunity is wasted by the Denver Gold. This is the 2nd time they have been down there knocking on a goal line. The last time Dillon threw an interception, and now they missed the field goal from 19 yards. He did slip. When he planted his left foot, he slid a little bit, and that threw off his point of contact. My goodness.
Oh, it's a 1-point ball game, which means it's a game that will swing in favor of the Houston Gamblers by a mere field goal. If they're able to march down the field, and keep in mind, if they go down to get in scoring position, they will be on the infield where the rain has taken its heaviest toll on this surface.
First and 10 from the 20, and it's Sam Harrell with the football, and Sam wiggles his way on out to about the 29 before they wrestle him down. And you've got 3:10 to play in the first half, with Denver leading by a point, 7-6. The storm situation, to update you on it, almost tornadic, but not quite. Some of the little thunderstorms kicking around the countryside, carrying some winds with them and some hail with them, but we've just weathered one, and I hope that's the last one for a while. Hand off to Harrell for the first down. It was 2nd down and a half a yard. Dillon turned and gave it to Sam, and he went blowing right up the middle and puts the ball out around the 34.
The two teams, neither one of them running the ball a great deal, but it is the Houston Gamblers who like to run the ball the least amount. The leading rusher coming into this ball game was Fowler with 303 yards, and Harrell with 278, as compared to Johnson, who has 1,133 yards for the Denver Gold.
First down from the 34. Dillon back, throws short. Ball caught by Todd Fowler and dumped down right about the 39-yard line by Darrell Hemphill. And Hemphill has got a double handful of tackles already.
He sure does.
And we've come to 2 minutes to go in the first half. Stopping the clock. Denver leading Houston 7-6. And we'll be back in just a moment.
There are those who say that the fun has gone out of football, that it's become too predictable. For them, let me present 30 seconds of football, USFL style. USFL football is top quality with a flair for being different. Check us out. You just might find that the fun is back.
The USFL, where football is still a game.
San Antonio Gunslingers, despite their fiscal problems, getting their checks in time, leading the Los Angeles Express in the third quarter 17-6. The Express just about run out of people. They're down to about 4 offensive linemen and 4 defensive backs and all sorts of trouble.
When the league took over the team, they said you can't go out and get new players when yours are injured. Thus, they're playing with wounded and everything else they can get their hands on.
2nd down and 4, and a little mix-up here as Dillon threw quickly, and Gerald McNeil had gone to the sidelines and then broken it upfield behind Jeff Delaney, but Todd had committed himself to the sideline throw, trying to get McNeil past the marker, and didn't do it. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
We'll take a look again at the play. McNeil going out. See if this contact. Now, the ball's in the air. That's illegal contact. But the problem is the official's not looking at the ball. He's looking at the player.
Dillon gets a little heat. Steps away from it, gets his pass off, and it is incomplete. He had Richard Johnson going down the middle with Steve Trimble, but did not get the ball to him.
Did you see? Look at the skid marks on the infield.
Yeah.
The receiver made.
Slid about 8 feet.
Trying to stop, trying to run, trying to stop, trying to make a cut. And when you see those kind of marks in the field, you know the receiver doesn't have much control. He's like ice skating out of control.
With 1 minute 52 seconds to go in the first half now, it's 4th down and 4. And Frank Corral is in for his 2nd punt. The first one was for 47. But he has a little different circumstances to work with here. Deep man is Lonnie Harris. Returned 1 point, punt 63 yards for a touchdown, the first of the game. But it was wiped out because of penalty.
Lonnie Harris will probably come to his right because that's where he's got the most grass.
Corral's going to kick it the other way.
Into the mud.
Kicks a knuckleball, and Harris makes the catch and has a little hole. And he's still going.
He stepped out of bounds.
They called him out of bounds. They've called him out of bounds. When he cut back, his back foot apparently went out of bounds. So Lonnie Harris almost breaking another one. And the man that knocked him out of bounds was the punter, Frank Corral. So Frank went over there and stuck his helmet right on his knees and got just enough to knock him out.
Look at the splashing, the water action on the field. He runs through the mud very quickly. Does a good job, but again, he's on the grass. And then he turns on the jets.
Corral hits it.
Away, and Corral makes a hit.
Well, he just barely did go out of bounds, didn't he?
Yeah.
43-yard punt, 28-yard return. A minute 39 to go in the first half. And the Denver Gold with pretty good field position now at their own 45-yard line. Stiegel has not seen the ball yet today, or at least has not caught it. This pass goes down the middle, caught by Mark Lewis at the 40 of Houston, and it will be a Denver first down.
Of course, Stiegel, the man who set a new single-game reception mark last week, catching 16, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Clock shows 1:25 to go first half. Gold, who've mistaked away 2 golden opportunities to score. Oh, my goodness, that ball was knocked loose and then kicked out of bounds. Whose is it?
Kiki Diallo kicked out of bounds. Reggie Bonner kicked out of bounds. It'll be the ball of the Denver Gold because the Denver had possession of it last, or are they calling it incomplete? No. Denver had possession of the ball last, so when it rolls out of bounds, it'll be their ball. But look at this hit. Right there. Bonner, number 41, just nails him, and that's Kiki Diallo, number 31, who comes up and kicks it out of bounds.
Instead of being down in about second down and 6, it is second down and 14 because Diallo kicked it out of bounds. But it remains Denver's possession. The pass is away. Lewis has got it. And Adrian Simpson slips and falls down, and Lewis gets inside the 10-yard line to the 9, first down. Well, that's what you were talking about. The offensive guy knows where he's going. The defender doesn't. And under these conditions, the defender, Simpson, lost his footing.
Mark Lewis just got inside right there in 21. Adrian Simpson was just turned around. And right there, he slips. The footing on the field is not great right now. He's dancing around looking for a way in the end zone, and he's hit from behind.
Timeout called. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. And you've got 1:05 to go in the first half. And Galliano and Mouse Davis now trying to come up with a play to get him in the end zone. Galliano showing 10 out of 17 completions and 235 yards. But all of that has produced only 7 points because of Denver mistakes.
Houston giving Denver the great field position by not being able to move the ball after stopping Denver from getting even a field goal coming back after the rain delay. A good punt return by Harris gave him the field position, and Lewis just made a good play and a good catch.
Denver with 2 timeouts remaining now and 1:05. I don't know, but I don't believe unless they get one big play out of Johnson, they could afford to keep bumping away trying to run the ball in the end zone.
Well, they've had great success with the play action. I don't see why they shouldn't have some kind of success, with the same kind of success deep in scoring territory.
Tony Fritsch, field goals for the 6 points for Houston, and a 63-yard pass run play. Galliano to Leonard Harris for Denver scoring. And a 21-minute rain delay because of a thunderstorm. Actually, thunder and lightning as much as anything. Galliano back, looks down the middle. Pressure's coming, gets it off. Almost intercepted by Simpson. Oh, I thought for a minute Adrian had that one and was gone, and so did he. As intended for Mark Lewis at the goal line.
You pulled that back pretty good there yourself.
Well, I thought he had it.
We both thought he had it. Number 21, Adrian Simpson. He'll come flying in here at the top in the picture right there. Perfect position. Ball
should have had it.
Should have had it. Bounces off his chest again. The ball could be wet. It's a little slippery.
It is second down and goal from the 9. Throw it again. Down the middle with it. And it's not available. Oh, that's dangerous, taking it down the middle. There's not a whole lot of real estate to work with inside that 10-yard line, and it gets cluttered quick.
Especially when you have all the people coming across the middle, and Darrell's very upset, wants some scoring out of this. That ball comes straight down the center, bounces off the receiver. Look at the hit he takes right there, Leonard Harris.
The ball was right off his hands.
Durwood Rockmore.
The ball was right off his hands.
That's true. But I think they're considering that, or thinking more about the hits they're taking this afternoon right now.
Denver, timeout. Got one remaining. Stiegel, who is perhaps the fastest man out on the field for the goal, has been well contained.
Very well contained. Maybe they're just not looking for him in terms of the reads that Bob Galliano is getting.
In case you wonder where the tight end is, Denver doesn't have one, neither does Houston. The run and shoot doesn't offer you the tight end. Well, what about a tackle eligible here?
Well, you could run one. I don't think any of the tackles on this team are going to give you as much of a chance of making a successful play as you would have of giving Bill Johnson the ball or going play action and staying with your receivers.
Well, they're certainly big enough.
Especially with it being so wet. If it was a drier day, you could try something like that and have a greater chance of success.
Coming up later on World News Sunday with Sam Donaldson, the White House preparations to announce that the U.S. will continue to comply with the SALT II arms treaty. And Dick Schaap reporting on a pitching coach who specializes in teaching the spitball. Time I think about the spitball, I think of Elmer Singleton or Danny Osinski. They were artisans in the trade. Third down and goal from the 9. Galliano, a little play action, rolls left, gets it off over the middle. See you later on that when it's intercepted. Second time they have been picked off down around the goal line, and that one goes into the arms of Durwood Rockmore, and Mouse Davis is shaking his head.
Well, they say the third time's a charm, and 3 plays down inside the 20-yard line. Bob Galliano has been looking for his receivers, throwing into a crowd each time. The first 2 times, it came very close to being picked off. One by number 21, Adrian Simpson, another by Rockmore, and this time the ball is thrown, and Rockmore makes it complete. Takes the interception, his 6th of the season.
Well, I don't know if somebody broke a play or where, but when you look at the size of the wide people now for Denver, they're 5'9", they're 5'8". They're the biggest guys. Troy Johnson 6'1", Lonnie Turner's 5'7", Stiegel is 5'9". Who the heck's going to go up and catch it in that forest back there? Because all the defensive people are bigger.
Somebody with springs in his legs.
Dillon gives the ball to Todd Fowler. Less than a minute to play. He coughs it up, and Denver has recovered the football. So once again, here's the goal sitting down on the Houston side of the field. And right now, this has become a game of self-destruct.
I'll tell you, it looked like Jose Taylor on the defense is more upset about the play for Houston than anyone else. We'll take another look. This play is about 2 seconds away from breaking, Keith. The timing just wasn't there. The ball simply slips loose. I don't know if anyone stripped it or pulled it away. It just looked like it fell out of his hand.
Calvin Turner will get the recovery credit. You've got a Denver player shaken up on the field. And, yeah, he takes a hit there. Looks like Delaney came up and caused the fumble, probably with a knee. And the ball will go over at the 31-yard line of Houston, first down for the Denver Gold.
That's Delaney who's on the ground.
It's Jeff Delaney who's hurt. Well, if you're down here, now this is the 4th time. They got 40 seconds to go in the first half. They got 1 timeout remaining. This will be the 4th time they've been down knocking on the door. And if they come away empty 4 times in the first half, I don't know what that can do to your psyche at halftime.
I'll tell you what I'd call. I don't know what they have in their repertoire of plays, but no matter what kind of defense they have up there, I think I'd run a play-action pass, send 3 of the 4 receivers downfield, 2 of them to the outside, 1 down the middle on the post, and then take the 4th receiver and have them come across in a deep crossing route. I mean, that should spring someone open. Let your Bill Johnson stand in the middle as a safety valve.
Well, they got a man open over there and close to a first down. He should have a first down because he's rolled over right to the marker. It's number 82, Lonnie Turner. And now he goes out. And they come back in to mark it, and the clock is rolling because they didn't give him the first down. They got 1 timeout remaining. Now they're at 18 seconds. Galliano whips it out of bounds, and that'll stop your clock with 14 seconds to play. So they got 1 play left probably before they spend the timeout and go for 3.
Unless, of course, they score.
Unless they score.
What a clandestine meeting that looks like. Darrell Davis grabs his receiver. He's huddled up against him. Listen, Lonnie, I want you to score. I want you to go in, call this play.
And if you don't come home for supper.
Just keep running into the locker room. There's Asmus. He's waiting for his chance. Hopes he won't slip on this.
He had one chip shot.
Yep.
Ball's at the 21, 3rd and a yard. Passes away. Pass is good to Mark Lewis for a first down at the 13 of Houston and 9 seconds remaining.
They're going to call another play.
Well, they're trying to get everybody up to the line of scrimmage here before they get the change set and before Dave Kamansky winds the clock. There he goes. Clock running. And he throws that one away. Why not throw it in the end zone?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why they even wasted the time trying to set up the play. Hurry up offense, I understand, and you know they're going to try and score a touchdown or do something productive, but not something like that. I just take the time to bring the guy in, let him set up, and kick the field goal.
It'll be a 30-yard try by Asmus. Galliano was the holder. Steve Johnson, the snapper. The last time, the snap was good, the hole looked good, but Asmus slipped just a little bit. It was wetter then than it is now. I don't believe it.
Keith, he looked like he slid right past the football. When he came to approach it for his kick, looked like he just slid. His base foot slid right by the ball. They'd come away with no points.
4 times they've been down there banging on the door, and 4 times they have come up empty.
Well, watch here. Watch his base foot. It just looks like it's planted pretty solid. I take that back. He just missed it.
That's incredible.
Every Ferrari 308 leaving Italy for America leaves on Goodyear radial tires, and only Goodyear radial tires. Why? Because Mr. Ferrari wants it that way.
You know, there are more and more places today where you can't smoke, like here on the job. But when I want tobacco pleasure, I still make out like a bandit with these Skull Bandits. Skull Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. You just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste wherever you are. My choice is wintergreen. The mint goes over big, too. So when you can't smoke, you can still make out like a bandit with Skull Bandits, the little pouch of tobacco pleasure.
Mr. Secretary, are you saying no further cuts can be made?
That is correct, Senator.
I see here enormous expenditures on Meistercraft.
Our boys deserve an expensive beer, sir.
My committee informs me it's not expensive, just tastefully expensive.
Actually, that's under my assistant, Mr. Macklin.
Well, what's he doing with the money he's supposed to spend on beer?
Oh, Mac, it's a darling little boat.
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
Thursday.
All right, we'll do it your way.
In the movies, they're magic.
Not late, but not at all.
But on their own,
Private Investigator.
they're murder. Parker Stevenson and Billy D. Williams. They're shooting stars at 8/7 Central.
Thursday.
Hi, I'm Ron White. And I'm Bob Robinson. You know, here at Family Ford, service is one of our main concerns. And we want to make you one of our satisfied customers no matter what make or model you drive.
Hi, I'm Chuck Parkinson of North Hollywood, California. Whenever Sheila and I come to Texas, we always stop at Family Ford to have our car service. So come to Family Ford for all your Ford needs, and come see me at the Gladewater Roundup Rodeo. Family Ford and Gladewater Rodeo, a heck of a combination.
Thanks, Chuck!
Channel 7's East Texas Sports, recognized by the Associated Press for the best sportscast in our division. Jerry Gumbert, Miles Taylor, and David Smoke, covering East Texas sports with more than just scores and highlights. You will see and feel the emotions of winning and losing. For the best sports coverage, watch KLTV's East Texas News, the news that affects you first.
We're with you, KLTV with you.
A 7-6 Denver lead at halftime. First half delayed 21 minutes by a thunderstorm. And our halftime feature today with Tim Brandt is about Houston place kicker Tony Fritsch, a seemingly blithe spirit offering a public image of laughing his way through life. It is not the real man. Travail has scarred him, but as he speaks, you sense that travail has left him stronger.
The biggest weakness of a human being is not to try in life and fail. It would be if you fail and you don't get up.
Tony Fritsch has gotten up, and he has faced personal adversity with the same intensity that made him a world-class athlete. His story is both riveting and compelling. Raised in Austria, his parents died when he was 15, so he turned to sports to fill a void.
It's formed my character. That's opened up a lot of doors. I do have my coaches around. You know, I think the coach substituted my father and my mother.
1965, Fritsch was playing soccer for the Austrian national team, a team which hadn't beaten England in over 100 years. The scene, Wembley Stadium.
And Fritsch equalized.
Anton Fritsch scored 2 goals in a 3-2 upset, and the orphan from Vienna became a national hero.
When you lose your parents, you have to grow up faster. You have to be more alert. And I played already when I was 12 years old in the front of 30,000 people. And you go in with the crowd, you go in with the media, with the press, you know how to handle yourself in the public and on the field, off the field. And for sure, I played in every major stadium in the world almost for 130,000 people. So when I was coming to Dallas and I see 70,000 in the Cotton Bowl, it was nothing new to me.
He was prepared to handle the on-field pressures of American football. He kicked the Cowboys to 2 Super Bowl championships. In 1979, he led the NFL in kicking accuracy and became an All-Pro with the Oilers. In all, he played for 5 teams, but his dependency on alcohol caused problems.
You know, when 100 people every day come to you for a long period in your career and tell you how good you are, slowly you believe it. After 20 years in professional sport, a lot of things added up. And without of knowing, I was going in a bad habit. I love people, I love socializing, and a lot of winning and losing in my life, a lot of reason to have a good time. But without of knowing, I was going in a bad habit with the booze.
May 26, 1980, Tony left a bar with a woman. They were involved in a tragic car accident. She was killed. He was temporarily paralyzed.
I was thinking everything is over. And life can get very lonesome. Even the whole world watch you for years, million on television, and you can get very lonesome. And then I realized there has to be something done. And I had a lot of reason to change my life.
One of the main reasons is his family. He now teaches his son Hans to kick. It's a new beginning for Tony Fritsch. After spending time in a rehabilitation center, he hasn't had a drink in 3 years. He is presently serving an 8-year probation for involuntary manslaughter, and he's telling his story so others won't make the same mistakes. He's back in football now, leading all the kickers in the USFL, and although he's small in stature, he's once again a big man in Houston.
I mean, you're the smallest guy there. All the big guys around, sure, they're picking on you and making jokes with you. And all week long, you know, they're making jokes and picking on you. But Sunday, when it's come down to the game, everybody say, oh, yes, Tony, you are the greatest. You are the best. You know, they're shaking on the sideline, and you walk on the field and bail them out. You know, then everybody loves the kick.
It's true, you know. American industry needs energy to grow. But imported energy is unpredictable. It can even be taken away. So our industries are using more electricity from resources found here at home, like coal and nuclear energy. And we're all using energy more efficiently. Efficiency, coal, and nuclear energy. That's homegrown energy America can count on.
How do stock analysts get the facts and figures they need without getting buried by tons of paper? At Robinson Humphrey, they use Hayes modems to tap into financial databases. Hayes modems and SmartCom software bring libraries of information to their personal computers. So why dig through mountains of paper when Hayes can put valuable data right at your fingertips. Hayes, innovative products for enterprising people.
I hate California. You know what I'm saying? It's like, have a nice day, surf's up. I mean, their idea of culture is yogurt. Formal dinner party means you wear socks. Blondes everywhere, pink tofu, excuse me, soy burgers. I really hate it. I even hate what they drink.
What do you have, buddy?
One of those.
California Cooler. One more reason to hate California.
My life is filled with surprises. I am forever seeing things that cannot be real, but they are. I am constantly hearing stories I cannot believe, but I must. Believe it or not.
Join Jack Palance for a journey through the bizarre and the unexpected on Ripley's. Tonight at 7, 6 Central.
Coming up later on World News Sunday, the Soviets react negatively to President Reagan's expected new policy regarding future U.S. compliance with the SALT II Arms Control Treaty. We'll have the latest on the United Nations troops held hostage by Christian militiamen in Lebanon. And Dick Schaap will profile Fran Hershey, a New York area pitching coach who teaches the art of throwing a spitball, even though a spitball has been outlawed for more than 50 years. Now back to the football game.
The weather has brightened considerably over the last few minutes. Denver leading Houston by a score of 7-6. The USFL on ABC. Today's game brought to you by Meisterbrau, the beer that only tastes expensive. And by Firestone, with over 4,000 Firestone retailers from coast to coast. Fine quality tire, master care service, and a complete line of batteries. Come on, America. Drive over to Firestone. 2 Tony Fritsch field goals accounting for all of Houston's scoring and all of Denver's scoring coming on a 63-yard pass-run play that worked out like this. Galliano going to Leonard Harris.
And it was an excellent play. Galliano getting great protection throughout the afternoon from his offensive line, able to peruse the field, read the secondary, and find the receiver. He finds Harris on the sideline, and the defensive back for the Houston Gamblers falls down, tripping on the dirt portion of the field, allowing Harris to go in for the touchdown, and he probably would have scored even if he hadn't fallen down.
But Denver has been on the Houston 4, intercepted, on the Houston 2, missed the field goal, on the Houston 9, intercepted, and on the Houston 13 and missed the field goal. Now, what do? Go in the clubhouse and slam the door on your head, or what?
No, your coach will just slam his fist into your helmet a few times, verbally being upset with his team because there's no reason to come away with no points and all those scoring opportunities. It's one, a lack of concentration. Two, in this circumstances, poor field conditions, I think, led to some of the problems, and just not having that intensity to follow through with the play to get on the scoreboard. And you have to give Houston some credit. A couple of plays were great plays for the defensive secondary, being around the ball, knowing where it was going.
But they're down there knocking on the door, Swanee, and they're throwing that ball down the middle to little receivers with 195-pound defensive backs around.
It does not seem like the logical place to go. They're crossing routes, running down the middle. It's very congested. Galliano looked a couple of times like he wasn't throwing with any intensity. He didn't really put a lot behind it. One of the interceptions he threw it sidearm. Didn't bring it over the top of the shoulder. If you throw it hard enough, if your guy doesn't catch it, maybe it goes through the hand of the defensive secondary also.
So there's Denver sitting here with a 1-point lead and a 10-5 record. If they win this ball game, they will be only a half game behind Oakland. Houston, I guess, more than Denver right now would be under the gun, because if they lose this ball game, they're still short of 10. And because of a couple of upsets we have, it now looks like it's going to take 10 wins to make sure you get in the playoffs. Maybe, well, somebody's got to get in with 10 wins. We know that.
Yeah, Houston is a team that really needs it the most because they're going to be, they're in third right now in that conference, and they've got to get the win to come up to be even with Denver and to be in the hunt for the playoff spot at the end or for the conference championship.
And Denver finishes on the road against Jacksonville at Jacksonville, while Houston will be playing Oakland. Oakland a loser last night. So that is the final game for the Houston Gamblers. So both teams kind of up against it but they sure have muddled their way through the first half of play.
It's a small company. In fact, you're looking at the entire staff. But to the client, they looked as professional as their biggest competitors. Maybe that's because they had the help of Team Xerox. Everything looked perfect with their Xerox memory writer. And they got big copier features right on their desk with a new Xerox Marathon copier. At 9 a.m., they presented their case. By 4 p.m., they got one, with a note saying, please thank your staff for such great work, which happily they did.
We got it! We got it!
Come on, America. Drive over for Firestone's computerized Master Care engine tune-up.
America's driving to Firestone.
Virtually ends engine repair guesswork. Firestone's mastermind computer. Quick, thorough, gives you a printout. Nationwide warranty. Now, Master Care tune-up, only $34.95.
Driving force is Firestone.
And new tracks on sale from $29.95. The long mileage radial America needs. The price America wants.
Firestone.
Sunday.
There could be a fortune in there.
Oscar winners Sally Field, Michael Caine, and Telly Savalas in an incredible 3-hour adventure beneath the sea.
It's a floating time bomb.
Irwin Allen's Beyond the Poseidon Adventure at 8/7 Central.
Tonight. It's legendary savings time at your Texas Ford dealer with prices like the good old days. Get over $1,000 off on aerodynamic Thunderbirds and free air on Ford Explorer pickups and specially equipped Bronco 2s. Save hundreds on Ford Escorts, world's bestseller, and there's legendary savings of $1,236 on Crown Victorias.
Ford, the legend lives on.
Save big during legendary savings sale at your East Texas Ford dealer.
I'm Wes Sims.
And I'm Judy Jordan. The East Texas News Team has a strong commitment to bring you the news, to get it fast, to get it right, so that you get more than one side of the story.
We'll bring you face-to-face with East Texas.
And I'm Peter Jennings for ABC's World News Tonight. I know that Wes and Judy are dedicated to bringing you news of East Texas. We are equally determined to bring you news from the rest of the country and from overseas. So I hope you'll watch ABC's World News Tonight at 5:30, followed by the East Texas News at 6. Together, we'll try to bring you face-to-face with the world.
This is KLTV, the East Texas station.
During halftime, they were working on the infield that we told you about that was so bad after the rain. I was talking to the groundskeeper. They have put ground-up corn and corn cobs on the infield, which absorbs 2, 3, maybe 4 times its weight in water. So it is sucking up the water now, and the mud has been somewhat solidified, Keith.
Any more rain, it'll be like cornbread and buttermilk, though, I'll tell you that. That'll really be a mess. That doesn't look too bad right now, and you could actually see a little brightening on the left-hand side of the stadium as the second half begins. The kickoff by Houston is taken back on the 4-yard line by Lonnie Harris, and Harris goes down in the cornmeal mush up around the 20-yard line. So Denver leading 7-6. We'll have first possession of the second half. They had 4 opportunities to score inside the 10-yard line, and they did not. So let's see how their performance, if it is in fact affected by it. It's got to be frustrating. That's what we were detailing for you at halftime. Look at that. I'll guarantee you one thing. That must have stirred up a little oratory for Mouse.
Oh, I'm sure it did. They should be well out in front, and he feels that that kind of play was the reason they lost the first game against Houston this season.
On first down from the 20, Galliano looks down the middle, runs away from some of the pressure, but can't get away from it all. And he really didn't have anybody to throw it to. Billy Johnson had come out of the backfield, but by the time he could pick up Billy, it was too late.
Excellent coverage by the secondary. Pete Caton was actually blocked to the far side of the field, but when Galliano started to move across the field in that pocket, escaping some pressure, he ran right into his arms. So far in the ballgame, Keith, it has been the defense on both teams that's come to life, play the kind of football they have to play, to give their offense an opportunity to score and take control of this ball game. But the offense have come up very short on both sides.
Galliano disappears in the rush. Good penetration by the defensive people for the Houston Gamblers, and once again there is a loss on the play, back to about the 15-yard line. I tell you, the front four, Swanee, Browner, Hughes, Taylor, and Caton, and particularly Big Pete Caton, boy, they are really getting some pressure on.
Oh, they certainly are. There are times when Galliano has had excellent protection, but more often than not, they've been able to put pressure on them, control the line of scrimmage, and when he tries to make that real shallow rollout and look for a receiver, he's got big bodies all around him.
Ball is back near the 14 now. Steps away from the blitz and gets the pass off down the middle, and it's caught for a first down up at the 35-yard line by Leonard Harris. So Harris has been the big play man all day for Denver. And on 3rd and long, he gets him off the hook.
He gets his little taste of the cornmeal mush, as you call it. He gets up right away, trying to brush it off his uniform. He shouldn't have to worry about that. His 3rd reception of the day for 150 yards.
If the sun came out bright and hot, you might have hush puppies out there at second base.
Oh, no, you didn't say that, did you? Hush puppies.
Yeah. Call me when they're ready. First down. 35. Running play. Bill Johnson. A couple of yards. That'll do it. They've handled him so far today. The Hawkins brothers stepping in to stop that one.
Yeah, they were loose and ready to play this afternoon when I talked to them before the game. Both Andy and Mike talking about making it a physical football game, waiting for the receivers. And it was great because they were talking about when the receivers line up, they look at him, Keith, and say, now, don't you dare come across the middle here. You come across the middle, I'm going to knock you off. Then they'll turn and they'll face the receiver on the first step of the play, then go ahead and react to it.
Galliano gets it away down the middle. Oh, he's got Stiegel wide open. Rockmore saves it. Otherwise, Stiegel is gone, and it's first down for the Denver Gold at the 27 of Houston.
I think that's Stiegel's first catch of the day. This ball hangs way up in the air. The reason why there's so much time before Rockmore gets there is that he's playing center field. And this ball is thrown all the way on the sideline. So he's got plenty of time for the ball to travel and get down because the ball hangs up a good 3 or 4 seconds. And Rockmore is just sprinting, trying to get there. He knows he's not going to get there in time to stop the play, but he gets there in time to make a good hit.
Galliano now has 302 yards on 14 completions, but still only 7 points. Little option down the line. Pitch comes back to number 89, Troy Johnson, and Johnson gets a yard. They might give his progress to the 25. That would be 2, brought down by Andy Hawkins. A lot of running around, but not a whole lot of north and south stuff on it.
Well, Andy Hawkins was out there, and someone was, I think that was number 79, Ross Browner, who was coming across pursuing the play. They had one lead blocker on the play, and he had to decide who he was going to take. He let Andy Hawkins go and went after Browner, and when he did, no place to run.
It's unusual you would see Houston with that few yards, huh?
Yeah.
In the 3rd quarter with 10 minutes and 25 seconds to play. Galliano goes big with it, and it's picked off in the end zone again by Rockmore, his 2nd interception of the day, and he's coming out with it. And Mark Lewis grabs him by the hind leg and brings him down out around the 7, and we got a fight. Out on the field, it's more of a pushing, shoving match than anything else between 2 big linemen, and Mouse is just absolutely beside himself. That's the 5th time the ball has been in the Houston end zone, and the 5th time that it has not been productive for the Denver Gold. It's a bad pass here, Swanee.
Well, he just throws it up in the air. He's got a receiver going down the center of the field. I think he just misjudged the receiver. The receiver doesn't go up in the air for it.
But there are 4 white shirts back there. 10:06 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Houston's got the ball at their own 8.
I care about you, the way you look, the way you set me free. I care about you, 'cause you're special to me.
Owning
a turbo feels special. But the feeling won't last if your oil breaks down and your turbocharger goes with it. That's why we make Valvoline Turbo 5, the motor oil specially formulated to withstand the intense heat and stress of turbos. Valvoline, because your car is special. Because you're special to me.
New business. Chair recognizes Brother Lampard.
Yeah, I got a question about this beer Brother Hollowell's been buying for the lodge.
This expensive brew, Meister Brew?
According to the guys down to the plant, it's not expensive. Just tastes expensive.
Oh?
So what's Hallowell doing with all the money he claims to spend on beer?
Well, let's just ask him. Hallowell? Hey, where's Hallowell?
Hi, Hallowell.
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
Here are the last 5 possessions for Denver. That, folks, is an exercise in futility.
Oh, we talked about the mistakes at the top of the show. You had to prevent them. Don't let the offense score on the big plays all the time. And the defense coming up with the big plays, and that would be the team that would win. So far, it's been all Houston coming up with the plays, but they haven't been able to put points on the scoreboard. Only 2 field goals.
First down from their own 8, Dillon. Up quick in a hurry to McNeil, off his hands, incomplete. Neither team really distinguishing itself today.
Offensively.
Offensively, yes.
This game is up for grabs. This game is like, like the bait just dangling out there waiting for anybody who wants to take it.
Like
no
a
one's
big old
taking it.
king salmon
Yeah,
swimming around your herring.
Hey, just, reel that baby in.
Dillon down the middle. McNeil has it tipped away, and then it's dropped by number 27, Calvin Lovell from Idaho.
That was almost a replay of what we saw in the first half. Houston backed up in its own part of the field, and Todd Dillon threw an interception. Take another look at it here. McNeil goes up. The ball's a little high.
Tipped a little bit, maybe, by number 40, Jeff Delaney.
Bounces off the hands here of McNeil as he tried to make the catch. And then suddenly it's Calvin Lovell with a great opportunity, but he doesn't hang on to it. That's why he's in the secondary.
Third down and 10 from their own 8. Dillon back, and again has pretty good protection. Gets it off to the sidelines, and it's out of bounds. Incomplete, intended for McGee. And now Frank Corral's got to come out and punt the ball from around the goal line.
Field position, Keith.
Yep.
Houston gets the ball on a turnover.
And Lonnie Harris back there, who can fly for the Denver goal. So you got to figure Denver's got the ball at midfield, maybe.
Boy, it's almost, you talk about attitude, and we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Keith. I don't see any positive attitude out there by either of the offensive teams. Like they're going through the motions.
Corral's 2 previous punts were 47 and 43 yards.
Houston called a timeout. I don't know what the problem was. I think maybe they were short someone on the field. Yeah, 4, 8. They have 11 now. One player just walked out onto the field. They only had 10 there. And Frank Corral didn't want to have to try and make a punt, being 1 short in protection. End up with a safety.
The total offense story, Denver has 325 yards. And Houston has 161, and so far this has been the fewest points in a game by the Gamblers in history. Their previous low was 14 points against Baltimore. 7-6, Denver leading. In a game of missed opportunities.
We did expect a very close football game, but what did I say the score could be, Keith, at the top? If there was no defense, 35-42. We'd be lucky if the combined score here got to 28.
Not a particularly good kick by Corral. He knocks it out of bounds, and they're going to mark the ball at the 34-yard line of Houston. So once again, a team fails to produce under the pressure. A 26-yard punt that time.
In my line of work, your insurance isn't on a piece of paper. It's up here, and it's in your equipment. With all the technology that's built into today's cars, I just don't trust mine to anything but AC filters. An AC oil filter can help protect your gas main engine for up to 15,000 miles. An AC air filter, up to 30,000 miles. Never wait for trouble. Protect your car with AC filters.
Now get rebates on AC filters. Call 1-800-AC-DELCO for a participating dealer.
Setting off to find America. Gonna take my own sweet time to find America.
Kodacolor VR films, capturing America in all its glorious colors.
And everywhere I see people smiling back at me, so glad to be in America.
Kodak film, because time goes by.
How would you like a family sedan improved by the engineers who designed Corvette?
You're kidding.
No, that's Celebrity Eurosport from today's Chevrolet. It's for people who love to drive. These engineers modified its steering, retuned its suspension, and turned it loose with smoother fuel-injected power. Like Corvette, Celebrity Eurosport is for people who love to drive.
You're not kidding.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
The weather is still threatening. We had a 21-minute official delay in the first half because of a severe thunderstorm, and there's more out there. And there are the possibilities available if one team will step forth and take it. Right now, Denver is the team that has just frittered away 5 successive scoring opportunities. And here they are again on the Houston 34-yard line, leading by a point 7-6. Play action, pressure coming, backside Browner, the pass is away, pass incomplete, in the neighborhood of Gilstiegel.
Keith, Denver having possession now in good field position. Now, I know I had to ask myself what could possibly go wrong now, but it's probably a question some of the players might be asking themselves.
There was Jose Taylor, 93, that was putting the heat on. Jose looks like he's slimmed down a lot. Look at that. He's downright svelte.
Svelte at 270.
34-yard line of Houston. Second down, 10, Denver. That pass is caught close to a first down. Defends on the mark. Pulling it in is Troy Johnson. And again, the coverage was there.
Coverage right there, all kinds of people around the football. Troy Johnson just went up in the air and pulled it down. Good play on his part.
They don't give him the first down. It's third down and maybe a foot.
Troy Johnson and Clarence Verdun were going at it a little bit before the ball game, teasing and rousing each other. One went to Southwest Louisiana, the other went to Southeast Louisiana, and they've always been competitors against one another in terms of who's going to be the most productive. Verdun said, watch me, I'm going to score one on the punt return.
Johnson trying for the first down and just gets it. Just gets it. Number 38, Rockmore, coming up from the free safety position, took a shot at him on a blitz and missed him. And that left Billy just enough room to get the first down. He's carried the ball 10 times today and picked up only 22 yards.
It's not saying a whole lot for his productivity today.
Ball moves to the 23, fourth quarter now. San Antonio 17 and Los Angeles 12.
I thought in this ball game today, Keith, it might be a game where you could see between 90 and 100 passes thrown. But because of the weather, I think we're quite a bit away from that.
Dillon to the sidelines, and it's good. The hit put on by number 39, Dennis Devon, but Mark Lewis cradles it in for the catch.
Well, Keith, maybe not so far. Maybe we're not so far off that mark right now, Keith. There were 58 passes that have been thrown in the ball game. take a look at this, and Rockmore is having his share of work handed to him this afternoon.
Though he was shoved out inside the marker, his progress was beyond it, and it's a first down for the Denver Gold. Ball is at the 13 of Houston. They've been down here so many times now. This is the 6th time. They've been down here knocking on the door and come away empty the first 5. Dillon puts it in the end zone. No! That could be interference, but he won't get the call.
Nope.
Mark Lewis is screaming about it.
Dennis Devon, number 39. Man that came across.
I say Dillon, I meant Galliano. Bob Galliano. The pass was pretty good that time by Galliano, but it was off the hands, and there's no question but what Devon here is going to shirt tail him right here. See it?
Well, he wraps the arm around him as he throws his body in front. Mark Lewis complaining that he was held, and he has a case. But right now, the ball's about to be snapped, and his case will suddenly disappear.
2nd down and 10. Stiegel, the man in motion. Galliano back. Galliano looks into a crowd and throws into a crowd, and it's incomplete. And now we get a little ruckus going on down here between the would-be receiver Lewis and the defender Devon, and they separate him.
Yeah, Lewis is still upset, not giving the flag thrown for pass interference. Tyler taking all the hits. Receivers get out there, and every once in a while they just want to show you that they're tough.
I'm trying to look into the secondary here and see where all this congestion is coming from. Why, with 3 wides and 4 wides, Galliano doesn't have more selection, but he just simply doesn't.
Well, he's got all of his people running into the same area. You see right there, Hawkins almost coming up with a big catch there, number 59, Andy. Just gets away from him.
3rd and 10 for Galliano on the Gold. Bob rolls it. Pressure coming from the backside. He better hurry. Gets it off in the corner of the end zone for Lewis, incomplete, and a penalty flag.
And I think it's number 77, Pete Caton, who's still on the ground over there on the sideline. And boy, if you couldn't hear his footsteps, Keith, you could feel them.
You bet. Well, they got an ineligible man downfield that time against Denver. So once again, on 3rd down, they missed connection in the end zone. And now they're looking at 4th down. And out comes Jim Asmus, I would think, for another field goal try. Denver's field goal percentage for the year is 11 out of 25 for 44%. That includes Brian Spielman, who is now no longer with the ball club. But the ball now with that penalty comes out to the 23 and makes it a 40-yard field goal. Well, he's missed from 19. He's missed from 30. Now we'll try one from 40.
He could be talking to himself at this point.
Boy, if they come away 0-6 after this. Wow.
The best thing to do is just to walk up to it and kick it like, you know, you've been making them all along.
By golly, he got it. So a 40-yard field goal by Asmus finally breaks that string of futility for Denver, and the goal goes out to a 4-point lead, 10-6 over Houston.
I refinished this beautiful piece all by myself, and I can't even change a light bulb.
Formby's furniture refinisher can make a believer out of you because it works unlike anything you've ever seen. It dissolves old varnish lacquer shellac without stripping, sanding, or scraping. With my furniture refinisher, it's a pleasure to create a treasure.
Homer Formby. No one knows wood as good.
And remember to try my stains. Their unique tung oil formula provides a rich, deep color you'll be proud to show off.
Old Spice deodorant is over 70% ethyl alcohol. This much. As the alcohol evaporates, so does some of your protection. Unlike Old Spice, Speed Stick deodorant has no alcohol. The wide stick gives you man-sized protection that won't evaporate. Speed Stick protection that's more effective than Old Spice even after 24 hours. We believe alcohol and deodorant don't mix. All-day protection that won't evaporate. Speed Stick, the wide stick.
Monday on ABC's World News Tonight, a bitter battle being waged against the raw material of cocaine. South American authorities are blaming U.S. demand for keeping growers in business.
It was 1961 that Gene Littler won the last U.S. Open held at Oakland Hills up in Michigan. It's a tough, tough golf course. Fuzzy Zeller, lame a little from a bad back, will try to defend his championship. You'll see it all on ABC. 2 o'clock Eastern Time, Saturday, Sunday, June 15 and 16, and U.S. Open coverage will replace the USFL next weekend.
The motion trip and the X is like on the numbers.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And when he's on the numbers, they're going to run that.
Corbell is the man in the middle. Verdun's not out there. He's got a sore shoulder. Is he going to come with it? He certainly is. From 3 yards deep in the end zone. Breaks it to the outside. Vince Corbell from Rice. Penalty flag goes soaring through the air as Vince comes back to about the 37. I suppose you can wipe off another good return because of an illegal block.
We'll see in just a moment. He started to bring this one up straight down the middle and looked to the outside and saw no one there. Wisely took it there to pick up big yardage. Looked like there was not a single soul out there with a white jersey who could be caught for any kind of illegal blocking or holding.
Above the waist, number 36. Will be a first down.
6 minutes and 32 seconds. Back it goes.
There's the kick right there. Oh, and right there, Jim Asmus slips and twists his ankle on the kickoff. Now watch him getting up. He starts to run. A little bit of a limp there. Not much. I think he'll probably be okay. Now he has to go in and get on the tackle, which doesn't make him any happier.
The penalty moves him from about the 34 or 33-yard line back to the 10. Ricky Sanders is back in the game for the Houston Gamblers. Handoff goes to Sam Harrell, and Sam picks up 4 to the 14.
Number 29, Sam Harrell, the ball carrier.
Well, both teams are run and shoot. Both come basically out of the same philosophical mold offensively. They practice against each other, so the defensive people, as Lynn Swan has pointed out consistently, know exactly what the offensive movement involves. Well, the Express has come back now to make a ball game of it in San Antonio. It's now 24-19 Gunslingers. And the ball is at the 14 for the Houston Gamblers. They trail by 4 here at Mile High Stadium, 10-6. Todd Dillon runs away from the pressure. He's got some open space, but he elects to throw it instead. He should have taken the run. But he was dinged earlier and came away with a sore back, and I suppose didn't want to take any more punishment and chose to try to throw the ball to Vince Corbell and didn't work.
I'll tell you, the way these teams are executing the run and shoot offense, Keith, it's like they got a gun loaded full of blanks. Nobody's doing anything right. Defensive secondaries are playing well. The offense just has not been able to spring people in the open. The running games have not worked for either team.
Dillon is 2 of his last 11. He's completed 2 of 11. His last 11. He's a little shorter than Kelly, but perhaps a little more mobile. It's 3rd down and about 6. Dillon gets it away to Richard Judson, and the former Buffalo from Colorado has a first down for the Gamblers up across the 25. Well, Johnson hasn't seen the ball much today, has he? Only twice.
Yeah.
He's one of their bread and butter guys.
Yeah, but I think he's also one of the people that the defense would concentrate on.
Probably.
And understanding how the run and shoot offense works, to cut off the #1 receiver, and at least you're on your way to defending it.
Gamblers with a little daylight now out on the 27. Dillon's down, back on the 15. Brought down by Bruce Thornton. 3rd sack of the Houston quarterback. My gosh, Thornton just overpowered everybody.
He just came barreling through. Looked like nobody blocked him. Or got a real good piece of him anyway. Take a look at it here. Coming in from his left end position.
Number 70 had him by the coattail, Tommy Robeson.
Illinois.
4:15 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and about 22. catching the ball and being thrown down immediately is Todd Fowler out of the backfield. Number 50, Stan Blinka, got him in a hurry.
Keith, a lot of shoving and pushing and attitudes flaring up after the tackles. And Richard Johnson throwing the football, Fowler getting up, and after Blinka giving him extra push, throws the ball back at him.
Well, I would guess both offensive teams are becoming frustrated, and a lot at stake in this one.
I think the defensive teams are becoming more frustrated, Keith. They come out here, play great football, stop a team, get turnovers, the interceptions, cause fumbles. They give their offensive ball and say, hey, have at it. And the offense says, you know, I'm not here today.
It's 3rd and about 13. Hit as he threw. Number 55, Craig Walls, comes flying in there and nailed him just as he delivered it. And the referee, Dave Kamansky, standing right behind him, indicating immediately that it was an incomplete forward pass because the arm had started its movement forward.
This was a great move. You see him right there, linebacker position. He takes the outside rush. You see right there, number 60 coming out to block him. It's his responsibility, but he couldn't get out there in time.
And Corral is in to punt. His last one was for 26. And that set up the field goal opportunity for Asmus, who hit the 40-yarder and made it 10-6.
Houston has to use up another timeout because they only have 10 men on the football field, Keith. And what we're seeing is a classic case of just poor concentration, and people all over the team are not into this football game. Offensively, they are down. They're not being productive. They're causing mistakes. There's 3:17 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Back when the Army was using piston engine helicopters, they asked Fram to design a special air filter to protect their engines against the dirt they kicked up when they landed. So Fram made this double air filter. Now Fram makes a double filter for your car, the Fram Extra Light. It works like a normal filter and an extra filter. It traps 50% more dirt than our old single filter, but it doesn't cost anymore. Fram Extra Light, 50% extra protection at no extra cost.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free, but the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot. You guy. Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin in spray, powder, or cream. Use the Mycotin coupon in your Sunday paper.
The world's premier golfers gather for a championship whose past winners include Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson. The U.S. Open Golf Championship. Live 18-hole coverage begins Saturday at 2 Eastern on ABC Sports.
Well, so far, this is a game destined for the cutting room floor.
Are you kidding?
For Frank Corral standing out on the 9-yard line, should hit it up around the 13.
Whoever wins this ball game, they watch the first after what the coaches have to say. We might be in the tank for a week.
That's a little high. Not a very good kick by Corral again, though it carries farther upfield this time, and it hit right on the sideline. So it kicks out of bounds after a 33-yard punt. But once again, the Denver Gold will be perched in good field position. First down at their own 43, leading 10-6.
The race, the Indianapolis 500. The car, the Miller American. The driver, Danny Sullivan. And the rest is history. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
I'm 32 years old, and I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults are coming forward to challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes is just a kid's cereal.
I know there's a tiger in the box. I like the taste, okay?
Because you love them as a kid doesn't mean you can't love them as an adult.
One day, our neighbor saw the package on the table.
And we don't even have children.
With that extra crunch and milk, that frosting just right, that taste is great as ever.
Well, they've always been my favorite. So dig in. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
I'm Jim Duffy on American Television and You. Often I'm asked, what if I don't like what I see on television? Well, that's a good question. We try to provide something for everyone throughout the broadcast day, and that takes some doing in a country as large and diverse as ours. But if you don't like what you see, let us know. Write to us, or change the channel. We'll get the message. It's a powerful combination. American Television and You.
The Denver goal with a half a mile of offense, but 10 points to show for it, 10-6. It's still sort of like sitting around waiting for the powder keg to go off, but perhaps more importantly for the status of this contest, there was another thunderstorm looming above the stadium rim. And it's first down Denver at their own 43. Back goes Galliano. And throws short to Johnson out of the backfield. Bill has got a first down. Bumps heads at the 40 and almost to the 39. So they gave Galliano just enough time to have a second look. And he found Johnson.
Yeah, he did. He gave him plenty of time. Bill Johnson finally getting the ball, not having to catch it in a crowd. Was able to turn upfield and pick up a few. Reggie Vonner, number 41, the man who came over to make the stop. I thought Bill was going to try to knock his helmet off, Keith.
Ball is at rest on the 39 of Houston. The whole ball game's been played, it seems, on the Houston end of the field.
It has been.
Houston men got back, give it to Johnson, a run play, pops one tackle at the line of scrimmage. Down goes a penalty flag from the pocket of the umpire.
Looked like he threw it at number 52, Tom Davis, the center for the Denver offense. Says, aha, I caught ya.
Poor old centers, they're looking at the world upside down, people beating on them, and they probably get flagged more for holding than any player on the field.
That's why they don't have any necks.
That's right. Tom's been around a while. He's out of Nebraska, where they just seem to produce one great center after another.
That's true. But I still say the best number 52 I ever saw was Mike Webster.
Not bad.
Kind of partial. He also wears black and gold, but it's in Pittsburgh.
He's worn out a lot of weight rooms.
Who is that guy? What does he have on his head? Yeah, you look like you're from another world.
He's got a tank up there, siphoning in his tank. Galliano gets it away. He's got it in. It's caught for a first down at the 23 by Leonard Harris. One more time. Leonard Harris again with a big play. But he disappears when he gets down here inside the 10-yard line. I don't understand.
The ball is now in possession of the Denver goal. Keith is at the 20-yard line. It's the twilight zone. What is going to happen next? Harris makes a good catch of a low pass and rolls upfield for a couple more yards before they touch him, and the ball's dead there.
Leonard has caught 4 balls today for 177 yards.
And how many touchdowns?
Uno.
One. The only one.
Johnson can't get loose. Somebody had a look like Ross Browner had a hold of him, and Ross big and strong enough to hold on to him.
Kiki Diayala had him about the shoelaces.
And here comes the thunderstorm. One more time.
Oh, the thunderstorms came when Denver had the ball in roughly the same position. They moved it down to about the 5-yard line. We had a rain delay of 27 minutes or 21 minutes. They came back out and couldn't score. I hope history is not going to repeat itself here with a rain delay.
Second down and 9 from the 22 of Houston. Galliano running away, gets it off. Johnson's got it. And he's thrown down by Diallo.
It was
down the 20-yard line.
It was that slim, trim Hosea Taylor, Keith. I was chasing him, and that is the end of the third quarter.
The USFL, Houston and Denver on ABC. Score is Denver 10, Houston 6. And we'll be back after this message and a word from our local stations.
Around here people seem to say it all without saying a word.
There are still places where you can shake a man's hand, buy him a Miller, and you've got yourself a deal.
Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today.
Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
In all the universe, there's never been anything like the new size Chevy Astro.
Chevy Astro.
Chevy Astro stands alone with the only V6 available in a van. Vortec V6 power that rivals the V8 and the highest towing capacity available, up to 5,000 pounds, in a size that fits your garage.
Chevy Astro.
When it comes to new ideas in vans, nothing works like a Chevy van.
Thursday.
All right, we'll do it your way.
In the movies, they're magic.
Better late than not at all.
But on their own,
Private investigator.
they're murder. Parker Stevenson and Billy D. Williams. They're shooting stars at 8/7 Central.
Thursday.
Stop. Pay close attention to this first-time television offer not available in stores anywhere. It's the 16 country gospel favorites of the Chuck Wagon Gang, a legendary name in American music.
I hear those lovely echoes from the burning world that fills how they fill my soul.
Also, hits like The Church in the Wildwood, Now the Day is Over, Amazing Grace, or Shall We Gather at the River.
Shall we gather at the river where bright angel feet have gone?
Don't be left out. Order now. Here's how.
This special gospel collection with the Chuck Wagon Gang is a must. Order now. Call 1-800-527-9300. To save COD charges, use your credit card or send $9.98 plus $2 postage and handling to the Chuck Wagon Gang, Box 957, Tyler, Texas. That's 1-800-527-9300.
This is KLTV, the East Texas station.
The USFL on ABC. Today's game brought to you by Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste. Miller, made the American way since 1855. And by Head & Shoulders. Its balancing formula puts dandruff protection on your scalp, conditioners on your hair. Dandruff care that's good for your hair.
We had a shell of a pigeon on the field, and I was going to say that was kind of an indication of the afternoon. All the thunderstorms, it's not even safe for him to be up in the air.
Well, there's another caption you could put on it, too. 3rd down and 3. Galliano, down he goes. Storming up the middle was Kika Diala, the big old middle linebacker from Texas, and he lays him down back around the shortstop's position. And I tell you,
He came in here with an escort, Keith. He had Andy Alkins, 59, had 77, Pete Caton, who you'll see right there coming into the picture. There's no chance for Galliano.
I was just thinking what it would be like to be in Mouse Davis' shoes till a day like this, huh? Or Jack Pardee's, for that matter. Tough day. Tough day for the quarterbacks, too, because both of them have been boxed around quite a bit. You got 14 and a half minutes to play in a football game. That means a great deal to both teams. It is 10-6, and here comes Asmus out now to try a 47-yard field goal. He missed from 19, missed from 30, hit from 40. He has the leg. But does he today? From these circumstances, out of that loose stuff, he gets it up. And he made it. Well, the horns get a little shorter when you make a 47-yarder under these conditions, and it's now 7-point lead, 13-6.
Well, a ray of hope in an otherwise overcast afternoon. Look at this ball going wide to the right, and suddenly the old hook brings it back in for the 3 points.
Just slid in by about a yard, and now the goal leads by 7.
It's a hot one out there today as Peterman starts his engine. The field is wide open.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Dombrowski picks up speed and breaks away.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Here's Evans showing some hustle against the youngsters.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's Thirst Aid.
Gatorade is thirst aid for the deep down body thirst.
And the crowd goes wild.
Come on, America. Drive over for Firestone's computerized Master Care engine tune-up.
America's driving to Firestone.
Virtually ends engine repair guesswork. Firestone's mastermind computers. Quick, thorough, gives you a printout. Nationwide warranty. Now, Master Care tune-up, only $34.95.
Driving force is Firestone.
And new tracks on sale from $29.95. The long mileage radial America needs. The price America wants.
Firestone.
14-11 to play in the football game. The weather grows more threatening. And Denver leads Houston 13-6 as Asmus, off a 47-yard field goal, kicks this one up the old elevator shaft. It's taken by Sean Potts. He goes left, he goes right, he goes no place. Scott McGee, was it? 88 or 86? It's McGee, 88. And he just didn't have any place to go. He never could really get his wheels on the ground and get going.
He couldn't make up his mind. He started, the kickoff return was called for the center of the field. He'll take it, starts to go back to the inside. But then he decides, well, I've got some room to the outside. He tried it, didn't quite make it. Well, look at the third quarter stats. Denver, 363 yards passing, 395 total offense. Time of possession is clearly even, but that 395 yards is in between the 5 and the 5. Very few points, but they do have the lead.
Out of the backfield, Ricky Sanders, who had come from his slot back position. He came wheeling around and got a convoy in front of him, and he dove across the marker for the first down. So there's a different kind of a play we have not seen previously today, at least.
Maybe they'll generate some kind of enthusiasm for the offensive unit to get them on board. Jim Kelly there, he's very disappointed. It's always frustrating for someone who's a great competitor to have to sit on the sidelines and watch your team struggle. And you're always believing that you can come in and have the kind of impact that would change an offensive performance like this one around completely.
Well, Houston has 185 yards today. They average on the season 390. Dillon back. Throws it short. And it's incomplete for Sanders. He had Richie Johnson going on a fly toward the middle. Trimble picked him up. But I believe that Johnson can outrun Trimble one-on-one. But Dillon just could not get the ball in his general direction. Did not have time. And right now, Todd's totals in the ball game. He's at 4 passes in his last 15 tries. But he's getting some heat from Messrs. Thornton, Nicholas, Ogren, and Turner. Here goes Sanders again. Look at this. He's got another first down as he takes it out to the 39, close to the 40.
That's a good play for him. He lines up at a slot back position in fairly tight. Comes back around, takes a hand off, and because of his size, you really can't see him that well. Difficulty in finding him. Really dangerous is once he gets downfield, the other side of the field is open up for that big cutback, and if he could have gotten 1 or 2 blocks to spring him, he might have still been running.
Well, it's totally out of context with the run-and-shoot offense. He's the leading rusher in the game for Houston now with 2 carries and 23 yards. He's out right now as Dillon sets up the throw, goes short. Ball squirts loose. It was not held by Mark Barus. Hemphill was right there to pop him when he got the ball.
From West Texas State, second-year man, 6'1", 195, 24 years old. That's Gerald Hemphill I'm talking about, who's inflicting all the punishment from the secondary. That time, Mark Barus, the wide receiver from McNeese State, was a recipient of his aggressive play.
He was on the same team as Buford Jordan, wasn't he?
Big Buford.
The Cowboys. Ball is just short of the 40. Second and 10. Dillon pops it down the middle. Baruch trying to one-hand it, can't come away with it, as he then absorbs some punishment. And it brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Gamblers.
That was Jeff Delaney that came up and made that hit.
Sanders coming back. McGee coming back. Baruch will come out. So they've got Sanders, McGee, McNeil, and Johnson.
I'd like to know what is really going on with this offense that they're so unproductive. I mean, you know, Todd's not having a great day, but I don't think all the blame should be placed on Todd Dillon.
They go to that same, Sanders is going to throw the ball and misses McNeil. Well, Jack Pardee willing and John Jenkins willing to go to the new page in the playbook.
Gimmicks.
And that didn't fool anybody.
No, it didn't. They were looking for the play. They had more people to that side of the field. He was trying for Gerald McNeil, number 13, downfield, and he was covered very well.
And Corral is out now, and Frank's going to have to hit it from the dirt portion. Lonnie Harris and Nate Harris, they send 2 men deep because they don't want that ball rolling around if they can help it. They split them quite a bit, so they're standing along the hash marks back inside the 20.
The good news is that Houston has 11 people on the field.
Yeah. They wasted 2 timeouts. There's pressure on that one and almost blocked. The catch is made downfield at the 23. 37-yard punt, no return. And Frank Corral had some heat on him that time as he delivered the punt. 12:29 to go in the game.
Some people would rather put up with dandruff than use a dandruff shampoo. I guess they think they're too harsh. A shampoo should care for hair. Mine does. It's special self-balancing formula. Sends dandruff protection only where I need it. On my scalp, not on my hair. And it gently conditions where it's needed. Leaves my hair soft, healthy looking. My shampoo? Yeah, it's a dandruff shampoo. But it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
Over 100 years ago, Frederick Miller started an American tradition. He put his beer in clear bottles to show its purity, its quality.
Miller's made the American way.
Nothing's really changed since Frederick Miller's day. Miller still means purity you can see, quality you can taste. It contains no additives, no preservatives, and still comes in the same clear bottle for the same clear reasons.
Miller's made the American way. I care about you, the way you look, the way you set me free. I care about you, 'cause you're special to me.
Owning a turbo feels special, but the feeling won't last if your oil breaks down and your turbocharger goes with it. That's why we make Valvoline Turbo 5, the motor oil specially formulated to withstand the intense heat and stress of turbos. Valvoline, because your car is special.
'Cause you're special to me.
12:28 to go in the football game now, and Denver's ball, first down at their 23, leading 13-6. Galliano run down by Jose Taylor. That's the 4th sack of a Denver quarterback.
And they're lucky they didn't call holding on number 52, Tom Davis, again. Because after Jose Taylor got by him, he just reached out and was trying to grab him, Keith, to hold on.
The loss is back inside the 15 to the 14 for the Denver Gold. That's a loss of 9.
Houston needs to play this way again on this next play, maybe come up with a big turnover, Keith, to give the Gamblers some field position, and maybe that just might perk the offense up a bit.
At least it'd be on the grassy end of the field.
Yes.
Galliano gets away from Caton, but then he is cut down. Who was that? 62, Tony Fitz.
Tony, 62, Miami, one of the Hurricanes. Happy with a knee injury earlier in the season.
He's a tough dude.
Yeah, he has to be. He's sergeant of arms at Jim Kelly's house. Jim Kelly, after he was injured, had planned the party at his house after the ball game last week. Had about 300 people. He still went on with the party. And Fitzpatrick probably just had a tough time taking care of all the people and trying to protect everything in the house.
Third down and 24 for Denver now from their own 9. Galliano. Caton's after him again, misses him in the end zone. Now he throws it to Billy Johnson, and Johnson is knocked out of bounds. Reggie Vonner came up and hit him, but Billy is short of the first down. Up at the 28, and the punting team comes on now for Denver, so Houston should have pretty good field position as McNeil goes deep with 10:56 to play in the ball game. Asmus' kick is away. Short. McNeil takes it on a bounce, and then down he goes. Well, you can do that with a 140-pounder. Nate Harris cut him and slammed him down after a 44-yard punt.
Yeah, the ball bounced. He was going to let it go, but didn't want it to continue bouncing forward. And right here, this little doggy was wrestled down into the mud.
Still fair field position for the Houston Gamblers. They'll have the ball at their 27.
Hey, Bobby, toss me the flashlight. Here, catch.
One reason why a Durabeam flashlight is so dependable is because it's so incredibly rugged. Another reason is it comes with Duracell batteries that'll work even after lying around unused for 2 years.
I can't believe you threw that. You said toss me the flashlight.
Durabeam from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
Introducing a high-performance machine for your office. Canon's MP7550 copying system. 0 to 50 in 60 seconds flat. Automatically shifts to the right paper size. Zooms up and down. Does two-sided copying from two-sided originals and sorting all automatically. That's why Canon's MP7550 is the automatic choice. So step on it. You've got deadlines to meet. For information, call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
The U.S. Open is golf legends Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson. Live coverage begins Saturday on ABC.
San Antonio Gunslingers put on a 70-yard drive with less than 2 minutes to play. Rick Neuheisel scored from the 1 with 15 seconds on the clock. And San Antonio beat Los Angeles 31-27. Well, this has been the best field position in some time for the Houston Gamblers. It might even be the best in the game. From the 27. Dillon gets it away in a hurry. The pass is good to Scott McGee. He's got a first down as he comes out to the 43-yard line. So, bang, bang, they're now out toward the middle of the field. 10:20 to play. Gerald McNeil has not been in the offense today. He has no catches. And his one punt return for 0 yards.
A few balls have been thrown his way. They threw 2 plays in a row to Gerald McNeil, 2 passes. Both of them were high. He was not able to hold on to them. One resulted in an interception.
He's little, but boy, he's a burner and tough. Dillon throws behind a wide open receiver, Vince Corville. Vince had curled it about 10 yards downfield and was open.
Dillon's a little frustrated. When I talked with him before the ball game, he said that in the game against Birmingham, they hated to lose that one. It's a nice tight ball game, and they thought they could have pulled it out, but he felt pretty comfortable. And he made his reads. He felt he didn't fall apart under the pressure, and that's what he wanted to accomplish, and felt that coming out into today's ball game, he'd do the same thing. He plays well, solid ball game.
Close. 13-6. Dillon throws to Scott McGee, and they hold him up just short of the first down. I think.
It's going to be close.
Pretty liberal mark, but he's close to it.
We've got 72 passes thrown so far in the ball game, Keith.
Well, it feels like a doubleheader.
It does. You see right where he gets tackled, makes a catch there, lowers his head, tries to drive upfield. Just tough to tell where the officials felt he had the ball in his possession, but
they've given it to him.
They give him the first down.
From the 47 of Denver. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the ball game. That's Ricky Sanders, and he's loose.
The field is wide open. Up.
And Sanders is inside the 10 and down at the 7. First and goal, Houston, as Trimble finally brought him down, and there had to be a mix-up in the defensive coverage that time.
Sanders was running across deep in that secondary. When he picked it up, there was no one on the sideline. I thought for sure that also Denver was offside on that play, but no one called it. He's running out there. He picks up a couple of good blocks. Richard Johnson's blocking for him downfield as he makes a good move there on number 27, Calvin Lovell. But it's not quite good enough to go all the way for the score. 41 yards on the catch.
First and goal. I think Denver was offside. Into the middle, touchdown, Todd Fowler. It looked like there was defensive penetration. If so, obviously they'll refuse it and take the TD.
We'll see.
What it was.
Offside, they'll refuse it.
So Fowler blows it right up the middle at 8:02 to play in the football game. And it's now 13-12. And here comes the try for the tie.
So after one good drive here that resulted in the completion of the ultimate goal, a touchdown, suddenly Houston is now in the position with an extra point. In a position with this extra point to go for a tie. I don't see why they don't go for the
8:02 to play? It's too soon. Tony Fritsch.
Wishful thinking, I guess.
Good. So we're even at 13-13 in a day of misadventure, missed opportunities at Mile High Stadium.
Best built. That's what a comprehensive survey of America's drivers said. They said it about Ford cars, Ford trucks, Lincolns, and Mercurys up to 3 years old. Best built. Owners reported fewer problems with Ford cars and trucks than those built by any other major U.S. manufacturer. Best built by Ford. That's quality you can feel, because at Ford, quality is job one.
The race, the Indianapolis 500. The car, the Miller American. The driver, Danny Sullivan. And the rest is history. Purity you can see, quality you can taste. Miller's made the American way.
Jim Kelly prowling around the sidelines, exulting as he watched Todd Dillon take the Gamblers into the end zone with Fowler scoring the touchdown. At 8:02 to play in the ball game, we're tied at 13. Another thunderstorm is hanging on the rim of the stadium. The kickoff carries well back into the end zone. It will be returned by Lonnie Harris. He's dangerous. He pops to the outside. He's got some help. He's out to the 34-yard line. Frank Corral, the kicker, finally helped bring him down. Boy, he's exciting, isn't he?
He is very exciting. He's done a great job of giving Denver excellent field position every time the Houston Gamblers have kicked off. He's so quick, Keith. He finds his blocking up the middle of the field. He's unafraid to break it to the outside, use that speed when there's no blocking there. Hangs on that sidelines, but yet he'll stay in bounds as long as he can to pick up the extra yards.
Note that Adrian Simpson, who has been playing a lot today, came off the field for Houston holding his shoulder. Back goes Galliano. Runs with it. A little bit with it. gets it from the 34 out to about the 37. Kiki Diallo was the man that kept him from picking up maybe 10, 12 yards. But Kiki got one leg and knocked him off balance. I want to tell you, that was a tough bunch of linebackers that old Kiki played with under Fred Akers down at Texas. That whole crowd was tough. Jeff Lighting, yeah, he was part of that bunch. Inside 7 minutes to go in the ball game. 13-13 tie. Second down, 9. They mark him back on the 35. Galliano, good protection this time. Oh, the ball's tipped. Just as he threw it, the ball was tipped. Regardless what Mike Mitchell did to the intended receiver, Mark Lewis, since the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, it doesn't apply. I don't know that Mike fouled him. It was close, but it doesn't matter.
Nope. I think that was Browner, number 79. He came in there and tipped the ball. We'll take another look. There's Galliano. He's throwing, and right there, the big hand comes out.
6:41 to play in the game. How do you feel about OT?
I'm not real happy about overtime. That's why I was wishing they'd go for 2.
3rd and 9. Caton's after him. Galliano got it away and a little bit behind Mark Lewis. He couldn't pull it in. And so it brings up a 4th down.
Once again, the Houston defense playing very well, stopping Denver. Let's see if the offense of the Gamblers can put it together for 2 drives in a row to move down the field, because that last drive was very impressive.
Right here, Denver needs a big hit from Asmus. Jim will hit it from around his 30. Right
no
now,
one back
McNeil's
there.
going back now.
Okay.
He got it. And he kicks it straight out of bounds. It hit about 6 yards inbounds and went straight sideways. And out at the 24. No return. 41-yard punt. 6:26 to play in the game.
17 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this house with a brush. Then we painted it in just 6.5 hours with the Wagner Power Painter. This wicker chair took over an hour, but less than 5 minutes with a Wagner Power Painter. A shutter that took 20 minutes, a Power Painter finished in only 3. It's a tool so versatile, it has a flexible spray tip and a way to draw paint right from a can. A Wagner Power Painter. It's the right tool for painting.
You know, when it comes to being a champion, size isn't everything. Who knows better than Doug Flutie? The main thing is you gotta be tough, like the small-size Ford Ranger. It packs plenty of V6 power up here. No other small V6 pickup beats it for power. And down here, there's independent front suspension. Real tough. Okay, go along. And the Ranger's cab is high and wide. Hey, do that again, Doug. What do you want, another miracle?
Check your local listings for our presentation of ABC's Monday Night Baseball. Some areas will see the Toronto Blue Jays leading the American League East with the best record in baseball against the Yankees. Some of you will see the Chicago Cubs and the Montreal Expos, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. All right, here comes Houston from their 24. 13-13 tie. First down. Todd Dillon. Wings it off to Ricky Sanders, and Sanders is brought down by Jeff Delaney. And maybe a yard. Tim Brandt now.
All right, Keith, with its score tied and 6 minutes left, it could very well come down to the foot of Tony Fritz, and on the last extra point that tied the game, look at the shoe. He stepped right out of it. Tell me about this shoe.
You know, I tell you, after 6 years and around 650 points, finally he gave up. But already with Manu, when I break him already in for a year, you know. So I think the shoe did really his job. And it's a shame, you know, it's this game, but still I win the game with the new one, you know.
All right, he's going to win the game with a new one, Keith.
Dillon rolling and buying time. Goes back in the middle, short for Sanders. Had Johnson deeper, didn't want to risk it, and is incomplete to Sanders.
Before Tony Fritz will get the opportunity to win the ball game with his new shoe,
move it.
His offensive unit has got to move it down the field.
Sanders today, 4 catches, 55 yards, carried twice on those sweeps for 23, and is 0 for 1 in passing. So Ricky's been involved.
Yes, he has.
3rd and almost 9. Johnson and Richard trying to stretch for the first down.
He'll be
He's
short
close to it, but I don't think he's there.
No, he'll be short. It's hard to tell because there are no lines coming across the dirt portion of the field.
They killed the clock now at 6:01 to play in the ball game, and it is not a first down. And it'll bring up 4th down, and they will punt it. Corral's kicks, the first 2 were very good, 47 and 43, 26, 33, and the last one 37. Lonnie Harris is backed up, and he's been spectacular all day, running kicks back for Denver. Handles the high snap. It's a low line drive. Harris get a little help out there, but they hit him in. So good coverage downfield by the Houston Gamblers as they bring Harris down at the 27 after a 40-yard punt at 5:28 to play in the game. Dave Burnson, our stats today. Todd Barry, our spotter. Sam Donaldson will have later for you on World News Sunday the latest news, including the White House announcement that the U.S. will continue to comply with the SALT II Arms Treaty. And a lot of problemas around the world going on right now. 5:15 to go in the ball game. On first down for Denver from their 27. Little quick pop to the sidelines. And not a whole lot on that one. As number, was that Rockamore? Or no, it's Devon, 39, wrestling Mark Lewis down. Pickup of close to 5.
Didn't really need a whole lot on it. It wasn't that far downfield. That time, though, Lewis had a little cushion, and there the oxygen being used again. Mile High Stadium, the air is a little thin. Houston feeling it. Sure Denver is also.
Call it 2nd down and 4 from the 33. Again quickly. Me. Troy Johnson trying to run before he had it.
Well, if things aren't going bad enough, then to come out and not catch a pass, it's right in your hand.
Well, this big old thunderstorm just keeps edging closer and closer, and if it arrives, I'm sure they'll be reluctant to delay the game much as we near the end of it. So if it does get sticky and windy and wet, it then becomes a matter of a mistake, possibly producing the decision. Those mistakes often produce decisions. Galliano again very quickly going for the first down and just gets it. Just got it that time with Mark Lewis. Same kind of a play, but to the other side of the field.
Mark Lewis is limping. I don't know if he twisted his ankle on a play. He's just walking with a slight little limp. I'll tell you, I'm not so worried about the thunderstorms, Keith, in the sky. And I'm sure that the Denver Gold aren't really going to worry about it too much either. But the thunderstorm I'm worried about is one that's brewing inside of Mouse Davis.
Yeah.
This team has had opportunities to just lock this game away.
Put it away.
I mean, it just...
First down from the 38. Billy Johnson. Kika Diala gets him and holds him to a yard pickup. Time now becoming a factor. 3.5 minutes to play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Asmus has already kicked today a 40-yarder and a 47-yarder, but he also missed from 19 and 30.
So based on that performance today, nothing is a sure thing for him if he gets an opportunity to kick.
Galliano now has a new Denver passing record, 398 yards on 22 out of 42. There's the first flash of lightning and the roll of thunder. Pass is caught by Lonnie Turner. Got behind Simpson and gives the Denver Gold a first down at the 40 of Houston.
Now, that was almost like a scene from the movie The Natural. You heard the thunder, a little Mother Nature dramatics, and suddenly Lonnie Turner leaps high into the air as if inspired to make a great catch and then come down in bounds.
They put it on the 41. Good pass by Bobby.
It was. Adds to his new record. But I think he'd like to add more points to it more than anything else.
2:58 to play. Denver with 3 timeouts. Houston with only 1. Galliano gets it away. Big Stegall over his head, incomplete. Mike Mitchell fell down in the mud back there, but Rockmore was on his feet and running with Gil Stegall.
That would have been a tough catch had it been inbounds. You see it right here. That's Mike Mitchell, 35. He's running with him. And watch him. He goes down. The ball is well overthrown, but Rockmore is right behind Stegall.
Jose Taylor now hobbling off the field, dragging a leg a little bit. So for the moment, the Gamblers lose his force as a defensive pass rusher, but send in Cleveland Crosby. Public cramps. 2nd and 10. Galliano with time. Gets it off. Got a man wide open. Mark Lewis. Lewis cuts it back into the middle of the field. It's a foot race, and he's inside the 20, 15, down to the 13. Better not spike it. That'll cost 2 yardage.
I think that's just what he was thinking. Big play by Lewis. All afternoon, the receivers are running routes close to the sidelines. He fakes a hook and go. The defensive back follows the go move, then he just stops. There's about 20 yards difference. He turns around on that sideline, and all afternoon the receivers have been staying close to the sideline. This time, he takes it inside, up the field, picks up more good yardage. Now they are in Asmus range. If they don't go for the score right now, they've called the timeout on the field.
And Lewis with 9 catches, 131 yards in the ball game. Leonard Harris, the biggest totals, but that may have been one of the bigger plays. Harris has the other touchdown on a 63-yarder. But that ball is resting down near the 13-yard line of Houston. You've got 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the game. It's all tied at 13-13, and there's an enormous thunderstorm that's just about ready to dump the water.
Yes, and right now it's the fans in the stands who are causing the thunder by pounding their feet. Coming into this ball game in the Western Conference, of the 9 top receivers, 7 of them are from Denver and Houston. Johnson came in with the lead. Harris, Leonard is second, 88 and 84 catches respectively. Verdun of Houston was number 3 with 76. And behind them are Lewis, White, McNeil, and Harrell to round out the top 9.
Galliano to Johnson. And Bill Johnson will pick up a little, not a lot. He got over there on the dirt portion and he couldn't turn it sharply. And Billy has yet to get up.
Billy came into this game healthier than he has been for a long time, but still having problems with the groin. That's not what he's having a problem with right now. We'll take another look. Gets to the outside. Doesn't have a whole lot of room or a lot of blocking out in front of him. He gets twisted up and bent around here. Lots of bodies are flying. He coughed that ball up too. Couldn't tell just exactly where he was hit or what he came down on to sustain the injury.
Coming coming up just a few minutes as soon as this ball game is over. ABC's World News Sunday with Sam Donaldson. One of the stories that you'll see is the Dick Schaap report on a fellow who is specializing in teaching young folks how to throw the spitball. But that's the light part of it. There's much more. Well, he finally gets up and trots off the field. That brings in Todd Gearhart, because now in this territory, at this end of the field, they need that big fullback in there for pass protection, if nothing else.
Oh, it certainly are. Also, just
Gearhart's certainly a fullback type, isn't he?
Yes.
At 5'11", 235 pounds, a rookie out of Cal State Fullerton. And we've got 2 minutes to play in the football game. A 13-13 tie, and right now Denver holds the threat.
Whatever kind of car you drive, you want all the performance it has to offer. Fill it with Shell SU2000 Super Unleaded. SU2000 is a patented high-octane performance gasoline designed for smooth, quiet power. And it fights critical engine deposits that can cause knock. Turn your car into an SU2000 performer. Get Shell SU2000 Super Unleaded Gasoline.
So what? Want to join? Join a health club? Learn pain?
Ah, this gets the kinks out.
It's happier with the kinks in.
Relax.
2 more things to try. Like what? Lounge and Lowenbrow. Great.
The beer will pour, must say something more right now.
I think I'll just join the lounge.
Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
13-13 tie now. 2nd down and 10. Denver's ball on the Houston 13. Today's game brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put back the potassium fluids, minerals you lose when you exercise. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. By Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invite you to see the 1985 Ford Cars and Trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Lowenbrow, when you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow. And by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, delicious flakes of toasted corn, lightly sweetened for a hearty crunch in milk. A taste adults have grown to love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. They're great. You got the speed outside in Lonnie Turner and Mark Lewis. And Gearhart goes in motion. Dillon hands it inside, and nothing doing for Leonard Harris. They tried to run a gimmick play, a little wingback counter type of thing inside, and it just didn't work. Fitzpatrick got involved with it, and Tony Fitz put it away.
At USC, when I was playing flanker, we used to run that play from a close flanker position. We used to call it 16 duck. And very often, if the guys in front of you didn't block well, you found yourself ducking a lot.
I'd call it 16 help.
16, and please make it work right.
Bill Johnson is back in now.
3rd down.
1:15, clock running. Houston with 1 timeout. Goes to Johnson. Bill Johnson inside the 5. Question is, was he there for the first down? Where do they mark him? They have marked him close to the 2, I believe.
First down. First down all the way.
Rockmore was the man that knocked him off just before he stepped into the end zone.
Nothing fancy at all. The people up front did a good job of blocking. Defensive line to Houston had their ears back coming in for the pass rush. Bill Johnson rambles down to the 2. Just trips a little bit, the only thing that stopped him from going into the end zone.
1st and goal for the Denver Gold. 45 seconds to play. Galliano on a quarterback sneak is held short of the goal line.
Stop the clock, I don't think. There we go.
They do at 29. Now, Denver, with 2 first downs remaining, stopped the clock at 29. I guess they figure that they get 2 pops at it. They got to be able to stick it in the end zone.
I'm going to second guess Darrell Davis here a little bit, Keith. He's got Bill Johnson back in the ball game. They're on about the 2-yard line. Why didn't he just give it to him and let him use his power to go ahead? He's got a better shot at getting into the end zone than Galliano.
I can't answer your question.
I know. Just posing the question.
Billy probably winded a little bit. Element of surprise, probably a factor. A little bit of glory for Bob Galliano, who's had a heck of a day.
Keith, 46 seconds on the clock, 13-13 tie, and the offense has made a heck of a lot of mistakes inside scoring territory.
Amen.
Hey, forget about the glory. Just get the win the best way you can.
They could have blown this thing wide open. 5 times. They went 0 for 5 in scoring opportunities before they finally broke through with a field goal.
Right. Played the Gamblers twice, once this season, the last time
the Denver defense certainly done its job, hasn't it?
Denver defenses play excellent. Both defenses have played extremely well.
Yeah. Got to be Johnson. Billy's got it. Won't get there. Pete Caton, 77, Kiki Diala.
They still let the clock run down, Keith.
15, now they stop it at 16. Denver, they've got 1 remaining. Houston has none. So Houston can't kill the clock with a timeout. And it's just now starting to rain a little bit.
Houston lost all of its timeouts when they had only 10 men on the field, or 2 of them. Ended up using their timeouts to stop the clock so they wouldn't be penalized.
This is the fewest points in a ball game in Houston Gamblers history, this being their 2nd year in the USFL. Their previous low was 14 points against Baltimore. You've got 16 seconds to play in the game. Thunderstorm is waiting to put the field awash again. If Denver can win it, they'll be 11-5 and a half game back of Oakland. Houston drops to 9-7, still in 3rd place in the Western Conference. But it's only the 1st and 2nd place teams in each conference that automatically qualify, then the next 4 best records. So the Gamblers are going to be in a fix here pretty quick.
Well, right now, they haven't. It's still 13-13. The rain's starting to come down. The ball is going to be a little bit slippery. The official has it under a small towel. He should have a larger towel.
What if it starts pouring now within the next few seconds? And Asmus, when he comes out to try for that field goal.
You got to pay attention right now to Johnson's footing to see if anybody slips. We don't have the same traction when the field is wet.
Galliano on a quarterback sneak, and he does not make it. He does not make it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, timeout. And it's raining hard. Oh, it's raining hard.
Oh, boy.
It's PAT distance. That's point after. Chip shot time for Jim Asmus. He's 28 out of 29. But now it is raining hard. Galliano holds. Greg Loberg snaps. And Asmus will kick with 5 ticks remaining on the clock.
He missed his first 2 field goal attempts in today's ball game. Came back, made 2 others to bring them to 13. Nothing is a give me in this kind of situation. The problem here is that he's got time to think about it. He'll come up to it. He doesn't need to kick it hard because he's so close. At the same time, he doesn't want to just come up and punch it, because if he does, he may not kick the ball high. It could be blocked. He may not have the follow-through.
After what has happened today, if he should miss this,
yeah,
I would just keep right on heading toward Hawaii.
Well, they'll have something else hanging besides the American flag from Mile High Stadium.
Oh, me.
5 seconds on the clock.
It's an 18-yard, officially 18-yard field goal try to win it. Low snap, down, kick, good. Galliano had a low snap to handle, but Bobby handled it. And 1 second remains on the clock.
The Denver Gold, in the 2 games we have broadcast this year, have demonstrated a flair for the dramatic. They've won those games in the last quarter. Just watch this. The ball slips. He gets it. He knows he's nailed it. And he is so happy Galliano pulled that ball up. He knows it was a low snap, and Galliano saved it to give him a chance to put it through the upright.
But it is so easy to miss because the low snap could destroy your timing just by that fraction. Asmus missed a 19-yarder, missed a 30-yarder, but now he's come back with a 40-yard good, 47 good, and now 18 good.
1 second on the clock. If the ball goes into the end zone and they don't bring it out and down it, they'll have 1 play at the 20-yard line.
No, they won't kick it into the end zone. They will start upfield with it. They'll throw it back across the field on a lateral and throw that ball around like a scrum here.
I would have said it if you'd only given me time. You're right. They'll squib kick this ball, let one of the big linemen right up in front handle it, and the game will be over. It will almost, Keith, probably look like an onside kick.
I would think.
Might be even wise on Houston's part to put some small people up in that line.
You know that they're going to throw that thing around. You would think they would.
Look like Berkeley playing Stanford when he puts the ball back and forth every time he scores.
No band on to go on the field, though. No trombone player for interference.
That's right.
Pops it up in the air. Game's over. Game is over. He squib kicked it, ricocheted off a Houston lineman, and the game is over. And your final score, the Denver Gold 16, the Houston Gamblers 13. Denver goes now to a record of 11-5, and Houston drops to 9-7. Coming up later over many of these ABC stations, ABC's World News Sunday with Sam Donaldson coming up next. And travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. Flying is United's job. United now serving 50 top cities in the United States. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Sunday. There could be a fortune in there. Oscar winners Sally Field, Michael Caine, and Telly Savalas in an incredible 3-hour adventure beneath the sea.
It's a floating time bomb.
Irwin Allen's Beyond the Poseidon Adventure at 8, 7 Central. Tonight.
The Air Force needs scientists and engineers to work on systems that'll go into space, on radar, computers, aircraft of every shape and size, manned and unmanned. The range of assignments and opportunities boggles the mind and reaches far into the future. The future of the Air Force and the future of mankind. To yourself and to your future to find out what the Air Force has to offer.
We're with you, KLTV with you.
Hi, I'm David Lloyd, Commissioner of the PPA, and we're proud to bring you the PPA National Open Putting Championship. The Open Putting Championship format is that we started with over 20,000 putters from throughout the United States. These may be novices, amateurs, or pros. And they played at over 125 putt-putt golf courses throughout the United States, trying to win the course championship in their local town. Then the course champions went to 8 regional playoffs, and the 8 regional winners came to TV. 3 weeks ago, we started with 8 players. We're down now to 5, and we're in our final quarterfinalist match. The quarterfinalists are David McCaslin and Rex Thayer, and they will be playing for the right to move on in the bracket to play John Napoli 2 weeks from now. But the most important thing that these players are playing for is the first place prize money of $16,000. $16,000 for going out to a local putt-putt golf course, playing in a local qualifying tournament, trying to be the best in their local city, then going to a regional. The top 8 out of 20,000, a fantastic series. We've had some super putting, and we're going to have a super match today. Billy Packer's with me, and we're going to be bringing you our play-by-play commentary. Billy, tell us about today's contestants.
Well, thanks a lot, David. And David McCaslin, of course, will be the first fellow going today. Neither of our players today have been on TV ever before in their life. David, 21 years of age, looks like he's about 17 or 18. He's 4 years of the pro. Memphis, Tennessee, was 1979 the JPA individual national champion. And in 1982, he was the Rookie of the Year. He'll be going today against Rex Thayer. Now, in Rex's case, he's a left-hander. We've only had one time previous to this in the TV series a left-hander playing, and in Rex's case, he'll be number 2. 25 years of age, 5 years as a pro, $9,000 in total winning money, and you can see right there a career stroke average of 29.5. Should be an interesting match. We've probably had the best TV putting we've had throughout the course of this TV series so far this year. I expect these two fellas to go after each other the same way. We'll be right back after this important message to watch today's match.
When the Pennzoil people came to me and said they were introducing Pennzoil in a new plastic bottle,